Hey everybody, welcome to Slamfire Radio for what is it? It is September.
That's why we write the stuff down, to avoid those moments.
I know, but I was watching him as opposed to the show notes.
And it was wrong in the show notes anyway, so don't worry. It's fine. It's June 21st, 2018 for those who are listening in the future.
Well, we always do the next day, don't we?
Nope, because I've been releasing same day every time anyways.
For months. Months.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 262.
No!
Summer's back for June 21st, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly Lynn.
I'm another one of your hosts, Brian Bolivar.
I'm back. I am Groot.
Hi, back. I'm Adriel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back, Trevor.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. I missed you guys, even you, Brian. I missed the listeners.
That's not what we said.
Yeah, no. We said something about...
You said a lot of things. A lot of things that were hurtful and mean, but thankfully I have no feelings, so they don't matter.
Don't give yourself so much credit. We didn't say squat about you.
I listened every week. Things were said.
No.
Yep.
No.
I think I even heard you. I think I even heard you, Brian, acknowledge the that flipperosity was a real word.
Nope, I didn't.
No, I kept saying it every week just to piss him off.
Worked.
Job well done. Virtual high five.
Yeah. Between that and Adriel just killing every lefty, like just any hope of a left-handed person having any dignity, it's just it's over. I'm done. Because I hurt my ego.
Lefties are like the points on whose line it is anyway. They don't matter.
No, they don't matter.
Yeah, and they're made up. Left-handedness is not a real thing.
Statistically insignificant. Just make it for righties and it'll work itself out.
They're telling you that you're insignificant.
And that he doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, Filthy does. He's left-handed.
Now we know why he can't hit anything. It's not because he's a clone trooper.
You know what? He's going to send you a picture of his rifleman patch.
Or I'll get to see him shoot the Texas Star again with the helmet on.
Yes.
Yeah. You notice he's only got 2 claims to fame.
Oh, but he's a great guy.
Oh, he's an amazing guy, but that's not what we're talking about.
No, but he can't shoot. I've seen
Remind me of Jose, my club secretary and the secretary for IPSC New Brunswick. She constantly reminds some of us that we always have to look for the good in others.
It's hard for you, Trevor, isn't it?
I gave up, Trev, with you like years ago. No.
The reason you can't find any good in me, Brian, is why you like me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you were like a real human, I would have no use for you at all.
I human just fine.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Anyway, hey Kelly, why don't we get along with the show?
Well, thank
we're not getting along with each other.
The Dysfunctional Family Podcast. Here we go.
That's what it is, isn't it? We're a big one, happy, unhappy family. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Right now they have a Remington 870. It has a 14-inch barrel, cylinder choke, speed sight, Surefire 318 LMGA, whatever that is. 4-end light. Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
4-end light. Keep reading. Wait for it.
Magpul SGA stock. And
that's a stock, and it's made by Magpul. You're welcome.
It's for a shotgun, too.
The
870 to be specific.
Just
whatever that is.
Just imagine I'm giving Trevor the finger. Okay. All brand new for it. Well, this is $9.99, which is $1,000. Just add the dollar. $1,000, people. Anyways. Oh, look at that.
For that summary.
Brian, you're up.
Yeah, but I'm not ready. So let somebody else go.
You know what? I'm the host.
See this gun right here? This is basically the 870 that the Calgary Shooting Center is selling.
Yeah.
Stock.
That's nice.
It's got the 14-inch barrel.
Mm.
Only it's not an 870. It's the clone I won last year at the charity shoot, which was awesome.
Mm.
But so for the listeners who are watching live, what Kelly just described the Calgary Shooting Center having for sale is this gun, but in actual Remington. This one has a leg up on the Remington. This one is threaded for chokes, Mossberg chokes. It's an 870 clone threaded for Mossberg chokes. I don't.
So weird. Yeah. Are you gonna have a gun for me to win at the charity shoot this year?
There will be a gun, at least a gun, unless any of the sponsors that Kelly wrangled up are getting guns. I know.
You can put my name on that right now.
Okay. DC Armory is going to put a gun on the prize table for the charity shoot.
Thanks, Denis.
So what it is, I don't remember.
Is it some bespoke Norinco 1911?
I was wondering if it was the one that. Never mind.
No, it's not the
Doesn't
crack
have a
slide.
Crack
pencil.
slide.
Yes. Excellent. Yes.
That one's gone.
All right. Since Brian is not
Now
ready.
I'm ready. Now I'm ready because Trevor jumped in. See, it's Trevor.
I understand.
Trevor
how this goes,
jumped
Brian.
in,
You're welcome.
and yes, thank you. It was all good.
Mhm.
Why is it that Kelly can't play along?
She's new to podcasting and hasn't really figured this out yet.
Aha.
Give
There
it
you
I'm
time.
There you
just a woman, and yeah.
Woman's got nothing to do with it.
No.
Matthew McClatchy
Well,
said that one time in a-
No, to be fair,
hilarious.
no, this is kind of a guy thing where we cover for each other. Yeah,
Oh.
that's something
Women
guys
don't
do
cover for each other.
Of course we do.
differently.
Go.
Now, if it was a bunch of women, of course we'd be covering for each other. But it's a bunch of men and me.
We're in a meeting one time, Kelly, and this lady said, "I feel
Oh
like
my
I'm the most
God.
hated woman in the room." And McClatchy speaks up and says, "Being a woman's got nothing to do with it." Oh,
Oh, I kind of think I know which meeting that was. Anyway,
honey.
right, Brian,
Yes.
start
Yo.
talking.
Okay, so yes, ma'am. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Been loading some match ammo for service rifle. Slowly but surely getting through my pile of bullets. I think I'm gonna have to get some more. I think I'm gonna be short based on my plans for the summer. Took a couple prospective members to the range, my local range on Saturday. Did their initial orientation to show them where everything was. So they're gonna apply to become members. So I guess I'm actually vouching for them, that kind of thing. So
Can I ask you a question there, bud?
yes,
Because
please.
we just started doing this same kind of orientation thing.
Yep.
How do you handle it in the wintertime? If someone wants to become a member, they just can't. They have to wait until they come to orientation and then they apply.
Well, okay, this is like an initial orientation just so they have a general feel for where everything is. We can do this in the winter. They're not doing any
oh, you can.
range safety stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But they still have to do like a range safety course and that kind of stuff. I used to do a range orientation course specific for the club, and now I've let someone else take that over, and they're doing something much more involved and better than I was ever willing to do. So
Okay.
it's all good.
So range orientation, and then there's a range safety course on top of that.
I believe that's what's going on now. I don't really pay attention because I'm already a member. I
Gotcha.
don't
And you're
really,
not
I
an
don't stay
executive
up.
or anything?
Yeah, I'm not on the
Okay.
executive anymore. So yeah,
Okay,
no,
cool.
I don't keep up to date on that stuff.
Okay.
So last week I was talking about needing a hammerhead brake, and a couple days later, my hammerhead showed up
Oh, thanks,
from
Annika.
Matador. Yeah,
Is that how that
Anika.
works?
it's really
It
more
really
like
is
Anika.
Anika. It's
Yeah.
definitely Anika. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's still my favorite.
I talked about the Sidewinder on the show, and mine still hasn't shown up.
Well, there might have been an actual message that I sent to her. I might have actually directly, not indirectly, said anything to her. I might have actually sent her a message to say, "Hey, how can I make this happen?" So,
And the hammerhead is that in obviously that's in 5.56.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
I-
the best caliber.
I run a hammerhead on my 76 too, and
Yep.
it's good. It's good.
Wait,
Yeah.
so is
Yeah.
that hammerhead in 5.56 or 2.23?
Yes,
you deserve
it
that.
is.
Angel.
Yeah, it actually is in both. You don't need to. We'll get to those things later. I think. Adriel.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yeah, I have a
Um,
feeling.
Now, I am anxiously awaiting my Kraken holster from Highlander Tactical, and I've been told I should have it tomorrow, which
Oh,
is
nice.
good because I'm going to Milken on the weekend to shoot steel, and I need a holster.
Well, just check the tracking number you were provided.
Yeah, okay. I'll get on that later when
Perfect.
I do that. Yes. Anyway, that information hasn't been forwarded yet, but that's okay. It's
Oh, well, then how are
Hopefully-
you to know that it's going to arrive tomorrow?
because I was given positive information from someone with good authority on the matter.
Okay,
Right.
So there.
but not actually anything from the shipping company.
Yeah, no. Anyway, that's fine. It'll either show up or it won't. In which case, I will either use that holster or I will use a different holster on the weekend. That's just how that's going to be. It's okay. I'm not jammed. Now, I did get a very exciting email from MD Charlton about my P320,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Oh, you
says,
get to send it in?
almost as good as that.
Ah!
It was an email to say, yeah, we're going to be sending you an email to tell you when you can send it in. Yes.
I'm still waiting for that email from the distributor for Thompson Center for my Thompson Center venture that had a trigger recall back in like 2011.
Good luck on that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably don't care.
Yeah, I think they've.
Now-
yeah.
I saw something interesting on Facebook today. A dealership here, or a dealer here in Ontario, was selling refurbished P320s. I wonder if that means they've gone through the program.
Maybe.
I don't.
I mean,
I'm-
what else would you refurbish on it?
I guess, yeah, it's kind of odd. I don't know. Anyway, so my my 320 is still not going off unintentionally since I'm not dropping it. Other than that, everything's good. So
Just refrain from dropping it. You should be fine.
I'm, and I had that rule anyway. Just kind of refrain from dropping. It's all the guns that I haven't dropped work better. Just less accidents happen that way. But anyway, and I don't like when I drop them while dancing. I don't pick them up by the trigger.
Oh,
Just saying.
By the way, he wasn't dancing.
I was
that
doing
was-
Well,
that wasn't dancing. I seen
He was-
dancing, and that's
was-
not dancing.
gyrating and there was music.
He was
I
a
don't know.
white man doing something. I don't know.
He did a backflip.
He did. I can't
Yeah.
do a back. See, now I can't do a backflip. So
And neither
That
can
will
he
never
without
happen to
dropping
me.
his gun.
yeah. So anyway, and apparently he can't pick it up without grabbing the trigger. I don't know. Just whatever.
Did you see the shrug he did?
It's like put my hands on. Oh no, my bad. Oops.
Yeah.
That was the best part. It's like, oopsie.
I don't think his employers felt that was the best part.
I have no clue. Yeah, no, I'm thinking. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Wow. That was a slide off into Squirrel Land. So I'm good. Trevor, what have you done? Can you give us the Cole's notes?
Yeah, well, it's really, I mean, I've been super busy, but I don't actually have a lot to talk about because I've been doing just a lot of the same thing. But some of the highlights was the third annual Ronnie DeGroot Memorial Steel Challenge was a success. I won my division, and I emailed in about this, so we already talked about the numbers and how Alex Burdett from the X-Metal squad came down and just destroyed us. It was humbling. And what else about
You
that?
saw
Nothing.
me.
I'm getting there. That's the very next thing on
Hug-
don't make
yeah,
my
hug
section
police.
about you. Yeah, the hug
Hug
police.
police. We want to hear about this because
Yeah.
we've heard some
Apparently-
conflicting stories about it.
Some guy hugged her and I told him to knock it off or something. Or a lot of guys were hugging her and I told them all to knock it off. I don't know. She was hugging a lot of people and it just
So
started to
you're
seem
saying she was
inappropriate.
getting around and you
Well,
took offense.
Hey!
Okay.
Kevin wasn't there to keep an eye on her, so I stepped in the Kevin role and
Yes, he did.
get off the Kelly
Yes.
or let go of the Kelly.
Yes. That's actually what you said. Let go of the Kelly. That's enough.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm just letting that one slide. We're not
We
going to
have to
elaborate on
remember-
that. Yeah. Nope.
We have to remember that I woke up at 3:30 New Brunswick time and went to bed basically
5:00 in the morning on
the
Ontario
next
time.
day. Yeah. 4:00 in the morning Ontario time, which would have been 5:00 in the morning New Brunswick time. So I put in a really long day and lots of whiskey. Thank God for whiskey. There's lots of whiskey. I went to so we did a CCFR range day
Mhm.
and there was a lot of cool people and a lot of cool guns and I didn't have any guns. And I was standing around like the ugly chick at the dance that nobody wants to talk to or ask to dance. Like
Aw.
I was just standing
Brought
there.
back
just-
memories, didn't it?
It did. Was I an ugly chick at the dance? Actually, I was at Halloween one year. So I was standing around just waiting and waiting. I didn't want to walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, dude, can I shoot your gun?" I was just waiting for somebody to say, "Furla, you look like your dog died. Get over here and try this thing." And then finally, I did actually walk up to James. I'm like, "James, is that a shadow?" I knew it was a shadow. And James like, "Yeah, it's a shadow." "Oh, cool. Can I try it?" Like as if I've never shot a shadow before. I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to shoot something. So anyway, James and I did a little bit of shooting together, and I was checking out his grip and his trigger press and talking about stuff like that. And then Ryan Holyoke showed up, and he brought the BCL 102.
BCL 102.
BCL 102. I like it. Yeah, I am endorsing this product. I didn't put 1,000 rounds through or anything, but Ryan's been shooting it, and he doesn't have any problems with it. It worked well. It was not terribly heavy for an AR-10. Recoil was minimal. He was shooting, I believe, factory loads out of it. Anyway, feels exactly like an AR-10 or an AR-15. Yeah, it feels exactly like an AR-10. Go figure. Anyway, but then there was a gun on the show here that we talked about. Adriel, I think you brought it up during What's New in Guns. It was the Ruger bolt action 357 Magnum with a rotary magazine. Do you guys remember talking about that?
I had the 44. What was it? 4417? 44 something or other. They make a 357 as well.
Okay. So you had that gun, but in a different caliber.
Yeah, 44.
Okay. So Ryan has one in 357 Magnum, and what a neat gun! It was accurate. Like I was standing, I don't know, somewhere between 50 and 75 yards, and offhand, of course, due to my maple seed training, I was able to just whack clay after clay after clay that was against the backstop. It was pretty awesome. And then there was all the other fun AGM stuff. And yes, Kelly and I got to hang out, and Rick Woods was hanging out with us, and it was a good time.
Awesome.
It was awesome. And like Kelly said, we were literally escorted out of the museum. I was going to steal a tank. They had so many. Ryan's girlfriend was like, it's selfish of them to have this many tanks. You deserve a tank, Trevor. She was just like, you're right. I do deserve a tank. But anyway, they walked us out before I could get a tank into my pants. So what are you going to do? What else? Oh, and then so basically, my life has just been working on SummerSlam because I'm taking off on vacation on the Monday after the cherry shoot, July 9th. We start traveling. I get back on the 29th of July, and the pre-match is on the 1st of August. So anything that's not done before I leave is not going to get done. So I have to have everything ready for SummerSlam, which is August 1st to the 5th, before July 9th. Well, actually before the charity shoot, because the week of the charity shoot, I have to focus on some charity shoot stuff. So luckily I've got a lot of help for that. The trap guys are stepping up. They're going to run trap. The 22 kids program guys are going to run the silhouette for us. And everything else is pretty straightforward. I'll run the pistol stuff. The other things I'll talk about with the podcasters when they arrive, just some housekeeping stuff, where registration is going to be and where the prize table is going to be, stuff like that. So, but as far as SummerSlam goes, it's going really, really well. We have one major project. We have a what's known as our house stage. So it's a 2-story platform that we call the house. It's built on telephone poles, and it needs to be rebuilt. All new floor, new walls, everything. So it's a huge project. But I've got a couple of guys that I have complete and total confidence in that they will get this done while I'm away. So I'll come back and that'll be ready to roll, I'm sure. And so there's really only 4 stages left to do. 2 stages are super simple. They can be done the morning of the pre-match if need be. And then the other one's going to take some doing, but I'm going to get that done next week. And then I'll be in good shape to leave. So, and for the folks coming to the charity shoot, they're really going to enjoy the Steel Challenge part of the match. We've got 4 stages that we're going to shoot from the original 8, and they're all kind of tucked in right next to each other. 2 are actually in the same bay, so the one squad will take those 2 at the same time, and the other 2 are spread out. Not terribly spread out. It's pretty right on top of each other. But what's cool is they're the actual stages from Steel Challenge. There's one called Speed Option, one called Outer Limits, one called Accelerator, and the other one, I don't remember. I'll announce them maybe next week so people can look them up and study them if they want. Watch videos online and see how they're going to shoot them. So we'll talk about that on the cherry section. So that's it. That's what I've been up to. I was able to drag that out. Wow. Adriel, what have you been up to?
All sorts of stuff. Had a big old match. Let's see here. Okay, before that, Vortex Viper 1-4 came in. It's a 1-4. It's going to go on my WK180C.
I went 1-8. Oh, Vortex Viper. Wait a second.
Mm.
Let me see that.
Yeah, this is
Hold that up.
So the Viper, I would say you've got the 1-8 Strike Eagle.
Yes.
The 1-8 Strike Eagle has bullet drop compensation in the reticle, which is really nice. The glass is not as good as what's
Correct.
in here.
Yeah, Viper is what's above Viper? Razor?
Yeah, they still have their Razor above that, which is quite pricey. And they also have the PST2, which are pretty nice as well. So both of those are out there. This 1-4 is more for shooting coyotes and that kind of thing, or 3-gun. I don't know.
Well, exactly, and that's what I'm doing with my Strike Eagle. It's going to go on my SLR. If SLR is actually a thing, I don't think they exist. I'm pretty sure that was a fairy tale.
Oh boy, you just made a lot of people unhappy.
Whatever. The people can have a sense of humor. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So the same idea, Adriel. That's why I actually went 1-8. 1-4 would be fine for 3-gun for the distances out here. Even if you shoot out to 600, you can do it with 1-4. But I went 1-8 more so with coyotes in mind than 3-gun. But
I'll shoot him with a 1-4. It'll be fine.
How do you like the reticle on the on that optic?
On the Strike Eagle?
No, the
Viper. I'd rather leave it than take it. I really like the reticle that's in that ACSS, the Primary Arms. Even though it's like Primary Arms is not a fantastic brand name or anything like that, the reticle is quite nice. It's got proper bullet drops that I can figure out, like even in a match. So we had some long range stuff out to 400, and I had no problem like during the match going like, oh, there's my 400, boop, and then pull a trigger and make a hit like first shot kind of a thing.
Did you make that sound when you figured that out in the match? Because
just give you a little tickle there. Yeah. No. Something like that. Yeah.
This show is this is one of our worst episodes ever.
Which is what makes it one of our best.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'll let you guys know more when I have it on a gun and I've been shooting it. Right now it's just a scope that I kind of look through and it's like, well, it's got a circle kind of hashy thing there, so maybe I'll put that over target.
I've never liked that particular reticle on that scope. I think
I'm not crazy about it. It's for a 1-4. It's too fine to be able to like really see what's going on, and it's like I prefer like the KISS principle when it comes to reticles, and I'd rather have something that's subtended for 223, 308, that kind of thing. Battle of Alberta 3-gun match. So we did a 2-day 3-gun match at Chaz. This was a charity match. We had our setup and RO shoot on the Friday. I was a little bit worried because some of our stages were set up late. We didn't get enough, like as many ROs through on the Friday night as we wanted to. But it all worked out. Saturday was really good. Some of the ROs came up with some unique ways of cycling more people through and keeping their stage times appropriate, and it worked out really, really well. Let's see. Yeah, we were able to get everyone through the Saturday match, reconfigure our bays Saturday, and then Sunday just show up and then shoot the Sunday match. So that's what we ended up doing. We did 11 stages. Yeah. And it was pretty decent. A lot of good feedback from people. We did a horn start Sunday. So Sunday, our range in the county that we're in has regulations that you can't shoot before 11 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock, we hit the air horn, and all shooting on all bays commenced 3 seconds after that because everyone had a 3-second delay on there.
You should have actually used a shotgun. It's called a shotgun start in golf. And because you were on a gun range, you could have did a legit shotgun start.
Yeah, we could have. But we used an air horn instead.
Lame.
We talked about using a shotgun start. I like the horn start. Our price day was pretty good. We had, about $4 or $6 grand worth of stuff or something like that on there.
That's crazy. You throw that all together so quickly for a 2-day outlaw match.
Yeah.
And talk about how much money you raised exactly.
I'll get there. That's like the icing on the cake here.
Yep.
I did not think we were going to raise that much, by the way. I thought we were going to raise like $2 grand, 2,400 kind of a thing. I might as well talk about it now. We raised over 10 grand. We hit 10,300 for the stallery.
How was it collected? Was it donations?
So match fees?
Or match fees
were $4 grand plus. And then our local range, Chaz, kicked in and matched the match fees for the donation. And then we had food sales and raffle that wasn't a raffle, and a couple of other things that all added up to 10 grand worth of donation to the stallery.
So
Nice.
Kelly, you know what this means?
It means your range has to donate, or
No, stop. It means that next year's charity shoot should be at Chaz.
oh, I think so.
Well, that would be super easy. Like, not easy, but that would be easier for me to fly out to.
Yes, it sure would. So you heard it here first, folks. Next year's charity shoot is going to go to Alberta. We've done New Brunswick and Ontario enough. We have podcasters in Alberta. It's time to send this sucker to Alberta.
I second the motion.
Wes,
All those in favor?
Aye.
no.
No.
Motion passed.
All those opposed
Robert.
signify by saying nay.
Hey, sounds like a lot of work.
Carried. It's a terrible amount of work.
Outvoted.
Awful. But guess what? You're doing it.
Anyways, yeah, really good match.
I love dictatorships.
No,
I think
this is
Here-
democracy. It's not dictatorship.
It's a dictatorship disguised as a democracy.
Most
No.
democracies are.
yeah, this is tyranny by the majority.
Yes.
Pretty sure
Pretty
that's
much.
happening there. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of listeners that showed up. Some of them were like, "Where's the riding bull? Where's the cowboy?"
I was promised a mechanical bull on
Yeah.
Slamfire.
Yeah, you guys were talking about it last week. How come it's not at this match?
Charity shoot. Charity
See?
shoot next year. See?
Everybody
Yeah,
wants it.
Think about
so,
how much
yeah.
the mechanical bull would raise for a charity shoot. Pay to play? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Depends.
yeah.
Before or after whiskey?
Hmm.
Two rates.
Before.
There should be two rates.
People with guns in their hands on the back of a bucking bull before the whiskey.
Oh,
Yeah, you might want to go. Might want to go with single action pistols for that.
Mhm.
Just
with bear
Bear limiter of some kind.
That reminds me. You guys were talking about mounted cowboy shooting.
yes.
Yeah.
You know that's done with blanks, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to do it with blanks. I want to shoot a deer with a real gun and a bullet.
Okay.
Well, you'll have a lot more success with a real gun than with blanks. I got
Right. Well, we were talking about cowboy or mounted shooting. There's somebody putting on a clinic. Remember?
Yeah.
Yes. And Perry Sound.
Yeah. Somebody brought up the question about the 180 or the 360 or whatever.
Did someone?
Yes.
About mounted shooting? Huh. Yeah.
Perhaps in jest. Anyway, carry on.
Maybe. Let's see here. Okay, my shooting. Long range. Beautiful. I'd been out to the range a couple of two times shooting at long range with my rifle, and that was good enough. My rifle was sighted in, and I could make hits out to 500. So when I needed to at the match, I could make those long range shots pretty quick. So that was all good. I was really solid on my shotgun on day one. Day two, I messed up a little bit, but it was more or less okay. My pistol really needs to improve. We had a couple of shooters out who are regular IPSC shooters, and my stages look like they're in slow motion compared to the speed that those guys shoot. So that's one area where I definitely need to put the time in to improve.
Watching your video there, Adriel, like I said, I sent you some comments. If you watch those IPSC guys, I bet you they're not charging into the port like you were, right?
Oh, totally. They were shooting from way far back, and they were getting their angle through that port from where they were standing, so that they did not have to move their feet nearly as much, and so that they were right there. They moved less. Yeah,
All about eliminating shooting positions. Where can I stand and maximize the most amount of targets?
you got it. Yeah, and they were confident in their shooting ability from those distances, and they didn't move their feet to get closer to the target. That's what I should have done. When I saw the video afterwards, like, oh yeah, of course I should have just done that. But I wasn't on their stages or anything like that. Part of the problem with volunteering for a match like this is that you don't get to see a whole bunch of people shoot a stage, and sometimes you gotta cycle in, watch one person, and then it's your turn to shoot, and then you got to move on to the next one so you can help support and take someone else's place.
Yeah,
but I ran the Glock. It ran fine, and other than I put my hand into a port, and the port was right here, and as it recoiled, I didn't know why it jammed on me in the moment, because I looked at it I'm like, what the this is a Glock. Why is it jamming on me? Okay, well, tap and rack, and oh, it's double feeding now, and fix that. Okay, but when I watched the video, it was like, oh, duh. I'm putting my hand into the port, and the window ledge is right there, and the slide came back and hit the wood on the port there, which was an interesting thing to look at after the fact. If you guys aren't videoing your matches, videotape that stuff, because you see all this kind of stuff afterwards. You're like, oh, that's what happened. And then you can watch other people's videos and like, I should have done that, what that person just did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get it, over a long day. You might, the sun might fry your brain. You might forget. So it's important to record that stuff for posterity. Let's see here. I got second place in TAC Ops still, even with my crappy pistol shooting and all this other kind of stuff. I had a bunch of jams on my rifle too, which I can update you guys on. I found out that, so I have a 223 Wild barrel. And I've been running, I just recently here switched over to Federal Independence ammo, which is 5.56. It's an XM193 bullet. So looks kind of like this. It's got the markings from annealing the shoulder on there. So it's a factory ammo, military spec, right? A little bit faster than 223. So again, my ignorance, 223, 5.56, their chambers are a little bit different, and one's higher pressure than the other one. Who cares? You get a little bit, like quite a bit more zip out of a 5.56. They're cruising along at like 100, 150 FPS more, even in a 16-inch barrel. So interesting to know. Also interesting to know is with the bullet profile and where the bullet is seated on a 193 is quite a bit further out in terms of where it hits. So you remember how I told you guys, like, I think I got a squib or something. The bullet ended up in the barrel, but it was only kind of in the barrel. This bullet is engraving on the way into the lands of my barrel. So, which when you're shooting it was fine, but when you go to rack it, if you get a malfunction, you may leave the bullet in there and pull the case, and the powder goes all over the inside and whatnot. So I had that happen to me, and I'm like, oh, now I think I know what's going on. And I did some testing afterwards with some 223 ammo versus 5.56, and I found out that the 5.56 does not like to seat in my 223 Wild barrel, which it should. It's supposed to. 223 Wild's supposed to run both of them, but it didn't. Now, 2 matches ago, I had the same thing happen with my buddy Will's rifle with this ammo. So, and he runs a 223 Wild barrel. So I think this 5.56 ammo, they might be just seating it a little bit further out to get better accuracy out of 5.56 barrels. And it's not working in 223 Wild barrels.
Okay. Who's it made by again?
This is American Federal Independence.
Yeah, okay. They might be seating it long just because they're seating it long, not to get more accuracy. They're just doing it wrong. That would be my guess.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the barrel of factory ammo. It's crap ammo. Not very accurate either.
I think this is just standard factory, like spec 193. I was reading up online and I was looking at different ogive to base distances on this versus a bunch of other XM183, and it's about the same. It's all about 0.5 longer in terms of where the bearing surface is hitting the rifle compared to a 223. So 5.56 is seated out further than 223 is.
Are you sure it's not 62 grain instead of 55 grain?
No, it's a 50. It's a 55 grain. 62. You would run across that with green tip. Green tip would be 62.
Did you measure it with a set of calipers to see if the overall length is longer, or it's just completely?
No, I'm going off of what the internet's got for measurements on this thing. I did not measure it myself. I would need something that would not measure like the overall length, but from the ogive to the base to really like see whether it was a chambering thing. The fact it did it on 2 different rifles with 2 different 223 Wild chambers, a Faxon barrel and a Rainier Arms barrel, is telling me that this stuff is seating a little bit too long. So, maybe it's
okay. So if I'm understanding you correctly. You're not saying that the overall length of the cartridge is any longer. You're saying that the ogive on this particular bullet is longer.
That's right. And if you look at
like a 5.56 223 issue, The difference between 5.56 and 2.23 is in the brass, not in the bullet.
No,
it's in the brass and the bullet seating length. If you look at specs for the measurement from the ogive to the base on 5.56 versus 2.23, 5.56 on average is 5/10 longer.
5/10?
Yes.
What's a tenth?
It's like 0.05.
What about millimeters? I don't understand this tenth stuff.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, the free bore in a 5.56 is longer than it is in 2.23.
Quite a bit, yeah. So that's what you're getting.
Now,
so this 2.23, I sorry for the podcast listeners who aren't on the video, but the 2.23 starts going in immediately, whereas this 5.56 has bearing surface that's at the base of the bullet there that's still showing. So that's what's engraving on the 2.23 Wild barrels. I also have a 5.56 upper. Guess what? This stuff runs fine in it. It's not hitting the rifle at all.
Are you telling me that I can buy 5.56.224 projectiles, and they'll be somehow different than a 2.23?
I think it's a case of how they've been loaded for the 5.56 spec versus a 2.23 spec.
So the ogive is not the issue. The amount of bullet seated into the neck is the issue.
I'm not sure that the cannular on these two is different. The cannular on the 2.23 is just a touch higher than on the 5.56 bullet, and it looks like the 5.56 one has more bearing surface. So the ogive profile is different. So the profile on XM 193 might be different than what is this, American Eagle PMC, whatever PMC is using for their bullet, the actual.
So the profile. The PMC is a 2.23, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And the American Eagle is a 5.56.
That's correct. Yeah.
And if you eyeball them, are you seeing a difference in the ogive?
That's correct. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, like up to this point, I'd be like 5.56, 2.23. It's an AR-15. It'll eat both. I was proven wrong.
But getting back to your initial point, you've got a 2.23 Wild chamber, which is supposed to split the difference between the two and allow 5.56 to chamber.
That's correct.
And I've never understood, to me, 2.23 Wild is an answer to a question that didn't have to be asked, because the problem that 2.23 Wild is supposed to be addressing is addressed with a 5.56 chambering. Get all your ARs chambered in 5.56 and they will eat both, and you're not going to notice a difference in.
It's an accuracy issue.
Yeah,
it was developed for both guns.
Right, but the accuracy loss when you shoot 2.23 in a 5.56 chambering is negligible.
It must not be. Because otherwise there wouldn't be a barrel for it. There wouldn't be a chambering for it.
My competition AR has a Stag 3G barrel chambered in 5.56, and all I ever feed it is 2.23, and it shoots 1.5 inches at 100 if I do my job.
Yeah. Imagine when it shoots.
Again, it was developed for bolt action target rifle shooters who had to use 5.56, and they wanted a more accurate chambering than the 5.56 chambering. But they could still use military 5.56 ammo because that's what they had to use.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so now I'm looking at this saying, okay, well, I got about 1,000 rounds of this, which in my case is not a lot. I got about 1,000 rounds of this stuff. Maybe the WK-180 will shoot it, so I'll shoot it in the WK-180. But what do I do for my AR? Because now that I'm getting nerdy about the ballistics on it, the 2.23 is quite a bit slower than the 5.56, and it makes a difference in the ballistics. That 150 FPS is considerably different.
Adriel, are you always going to buy factory, or are you going to reload?
I'm going to buy factory because prepping the brass in this stuff is silly.
It's a pain, I know, but you can if you load 2.23, you just got to use the right powder, and you can get the velocity you want to match.
Yeah,
but okay. So yes, I have 5.56 downstairs, Norinco no less, and I put it through the chronograph, and it consistently cronies at 3,200 or better.
Out of how long of a barrel?
18 and a half. 18.
Okay, so Adriel, you're concerned that you're losing velocity compared to 5.56, but if you always have pretty much the same velocity,
that's right. You sight in accordingly.
You just you sight in with that and roll. That's how military sights work. They all use the same ammo. so they can all be zeroed, and the ballistics are all the same. That's just how it works.
Mhm.
So just be consistent, and you're good to go. Don't worry about 150 feet per second. That doesn't matter.
Oh, it does.
No,
it
not-
does.
it only
Look at
matters
the
in your head.
charts. It does.
It doesn't matter a lick. How
not
big a
even
target are you shooting?
Yay big.
Yeah, like
Let's go
so.
for the
So
listeners,
multiple
that's the
MOA, right, to get a hit. If you're high or low of center by multiple MOA, you're fine.
It'll make a difference at 600 yards
Okay, how so?
on wind drift and
Yeah.
drop and
Sure,
calculator drop.
But if you're consistent with your ammo, you can learn to compensate. You have this thing between your ears and behind your eyes called your brain. You can make it work.
No,
serious. Yeah,
Scope is sighted in for 5.56. I don't want to.
Well, then adjust the zero. You can make it happen. Trust me.
I know I can. I want the extra performance. If
No,
I can
see,
get
yeah,
150
no,
FPS more, I
No.
want it.
Well, then hand load.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't
And
want to do that either. I want to have my
but-
cake and eat it too. Come on,
Or
guys.
get
Your
your
cake's made of
barrel
beer cubes.
rechambered to 5.56 then.
yeah, do that. Take it into somebody with a reamer. Calgary Shooting Center can do that.
Yeah, I really like this barrel.
We didn't
Yeah.
say change.
But then-
the
We
barrel.
didn't say to get rid of the barrel. We just said get it rechambered. It's
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, like, I agree with you guys. Maybe I should get it rechambered. Or
All
just
right,
touch it
moving
up.
on.
Just get it
like
a little bit more.
The very first match AR, I was telling you this week. The very first match AR I had was an EPMS, and it
I
just
remember
it
that.
wouldn't extract. But I took it to Casey at Tacord, and he took a 223 Wild Reamer, and it was good as gold after that.
Mhm.
Ran anything. So
Hey, wild thought. I was running the
That's a good punt.
spikes upper, and it's 5.56. Yeah, it's got a 5.56 barrel. I was running 223 PMC ammo in it, and it wasn't accurate enough for me. That's why I bought this other barrel. What if it's because I was shooting 223 in a 5.56 barrel?
you may as well see what how well that crappy 5.56 ammo works in that other barrel, because
I
you
bet
might
you it's fantastic.
Oh, I gotta go out and do some testing to with my gun now to show you guys that I don't think there's a significant decline in accuracy when you pump a 223 round out of a 5.56 chambered barrel.
Yeah, grab a big scope, throw it on your rifle, print 5 groups on a piece of paper, and do it for a couple of different kinds.
Well, if only I had the time.
Yeah.
Maybe
next
in,
year.
Maybe in November when
before
No,
the
no.
8 feet of snow hits.
yeah, 14, Brian, actually.
14.
For
Sorry.
real. It was 14.
It's northern Ontario. or
Sorry,
northern
my
New
bad.
Brunswick,
Yeah, I
it's
forgot to
14.
add the 7 feet for northern. Yes,
Yes.
right. My
Yeah.
mistake.
Carry the
Anyways,
one.
fun discussion about 223 and 5.56. They are different, and they, some work in some barrels and some won't.
Good.
Shot the M17S. It worked with both. Must have a 5.56 chamber. And it was-
yeah.
It was decently accurate. Let me see here if I've got a target. There's one right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's
Yeah.
about 1.5 inches.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good. Out of a bullpup.
What do people say it's about? There are devices in the world that are like made to
engineer.
measure distances between 2 points. Just measure it.
Okay,
It's
wait,
about-
Brian.
Oh,
I can
put my
cover
thumb
it with
over
my thumb.
I can put my thumb
done
over
with
it.
Dime
Ooh,
size
Oh,
group.
like a knife. Like a knife.
Cover it
is.
with a dime. So, Adriel, can
If
you
I had a
cover that-
quarter or a dime or
Yeah, I was gonna say, Adriel, can you cover that group with a toonie?
oh boy. I'll grab a caliper here to please you in a minute here. But
Brian, you remember those $10 coins from back in the 80s during the Olympics?
No, I actually don't.
$10.
I don't either.
No, Google
Holy.
it. $10 silver coin.
Maybe that was a New Brunswick thing.
No, I don't think New Brunswick makes its own currency, but thanks for the
They wouldn't nickels.
They would. Okay. Anyways, M17S ran flawlessly, decently accurate. Really love the 40 grain stuff. Didn't really like the XM193 stuff in terms of accuracy, but it shot it. My Elfman replacement trigger is on the way, so I should have that in my gun for I don't know, next time we talk, maybe after that. Anyways, I've talked enough. Kelly, what about you?
I did a couple of things actually. I went and did so I went to SAS, which is Smith Army Surplus, and I was able to get a new belt there. So I got to, for the first time ever, I have an inside and outside belt. And I used that on Saturday when we went to a match. I went to the Smith Falls Law Enforcement Charity Shoots in support of Soldier On, and I went with the CCFR. There was all kinds of different teams there. There was 25 teams. There were four people each. So there was teams there. So there were civilians and non-civilians as well. So there was like the RCMP, the OPP, the Ottawa Police Force, but there was also the team CCFR. We were there, and there was a couple other civilian teams as well. And they raised over $6,000 in support of Soldier On, and we had a great time. So there were different stages. There was an IDPA stage, there was a PPC stage, there was an IPSC stage, and then there was a shotgun stage. And I really, really liked it, but I realized I need the Furlacci course. So for my pistol, I'm not a pistol shooter. I don't go out and pistol shoot because I'm always at the range, and I'm actually not shooting.
Exactly.
But I'm a rifle shooter, right? So I took the Glock, and the reason that I took the Glock because I'm familiar with the Glock, I'm comfortable with the Glock. I have the IPSC legal belt for the Glock as well. I didn't know if I took my my Shadow, if I'd be able to use my holster or not. So I just went with what I had, and I hadn't practiced really with the Shadow either. So I took that, and I did okay. Didn't do great. I'm not a pistol shooter, as I said, but yeah, I had the guys that were running the IPSC stage. They were quite impressed, but they also, and Kelly Kincaid, who was part of my team too, she says, you need to take a black badge. And I'm going, yeah, okay, I'll fit it in at 3 o'clock in the morning. So we'll try and figure that out. I really liked the shotgun stage. I cleared it, and I was one of the only ones that cleared it. But
what does that mean to clear it?
Clearish. So I got all the clays.
Oh, cool.
So, and did it in a half decent time as well. So I was happy with that. That was probably the stage that I was most nervous about because I don't shoot shotgun. I have a couple, but I don't go out and shoot shotgun. I shoot pistol more than I shoot shotgun, and I hardly ever shoot pistol. So, that was fun. It was really, really fun. It was great to. There was CS corrections. So I work for corrections, so it was nice to be able to shoot with my friends from corrections, and it was also nice to shoot with my friends from the CCFR as well. So it was awesome. And what else to do? Oh, I went to SFRC because it's Saturday, right? And I went and got some ammo and some swivels and talked to them about the charity shoot too. So I'm going to go back and see them on this week to pick something up for that. And what else? So after the match that was in Smith Falls, I got in my car and I drove to Woodview, Ontario. So it was only 2.5 hours away. And then we set up on Saturday night for the Maple Seed that was going to be on Sunday. So we went to Woodbine and did a Maple Seed on Sunday, and that was at the Jim Johnson Ranch. It was stinking hot. It was like with Humidux, it was in 40 degrees basically. So it was really, really, really hot. We had 15 people on the line, and every single person shot every single course or string of fire. So, and there were 6 people that got their patches as well. So it was really awesome. We only did 2 of the Maple Seed qualifying tests because we took so many breaks, and we just rehydrated constantly, trying to keep everybody safe. So, but that meant that we only got to do 2 of the MQTs. So, but everybody had a lot of fun. We got 6 riflemen out of it, and I got to meet a couple of listeners as well. So it was really, really, really cool. I'm going to give them a shout out in the shout out piece. So that's it. That's everything that I did. We're going to move on to upcoming events.
I found a measuring device.
Oh, did you?
There's, let's see here, one group of 0.87, one group of 1.62, and one group of 1.19.
And that's inches?
Yes.
All right.
And that's at 100?
Yes. 100 meters. if you want to be exact.
Good
Well,
enough.
that's darn fine.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got a great trigger on it. I had my 6-24 scope on it, which looks ridiculous on that rifle. But it lets you like check for hits and very clearly see whether you're on target, like exactly on target or not.
Cool. Nice.
Yay. You can measure. All right. Why don't we get into events? Brian, why don't you read this message that we got from Rick about CRPS since you wear his shirt?
Sure. Okay. From Rick, Slamfire guys and gals. There's only the one gal. That's okay.
I
Long
was
time.
going to say that too. Like, who's the other gal?
Brian.
Step up, Brian.
So harsh. Long-time listener and fan wanted to know if we can get some publicity for our Western CRPS events.
Nope.
Nope. Done. We're out.
Moving on.
This is a Central and Eastern Canadian podcast. We're done with the West. Okay, it's here. He took the time to write in. So CRPS matches are 10-stage PRS style matches using 22 long rifles at steel targets ranging in distance from 75 to 350 meters. These are fun and challenging matches, which I can agree to, designed to test a shooter's skill. In order to help drive youth participation, CRPS is providing youth under 18 free entries when sponsored by a registered participant. Youth participants would be under the responsibility of the sponsoring shooter. Oh, I took the fun out of that, didn't it?
Yep.
We have a CRPS match on August 5th at Tabor Shooting Foundation and another on August 12th at Nicola Valley Fish and Game Club in Merritt, BC. Visit rimfireprecision.ca for more information and registration links. Thanks, and keep up the great work. There is an actual... It's a real series, and they're keeping track of all the matches and how everyone does. If you don't participate, you really fall down the standings quickly.
Yes.
Like after that first match, I was the top
Brian.
guy, and now after a bunch of matches I haven't gone to, I'm way down the list. So
It's like NASCAR. You have to like race to accumulate points.
yeah, it's one of those things. If you're gonna win, you have to show up.
Strange.
Mm.
Yeah,
Strange.
I don't know how that but mathematically it works out. So
It was
You
good to be
don't-
at the top, though, even just for that short time, right?
yeah,
talking
for
about
a
Brian?
while I was the
Something else.
champion of the world. I was in that particular event.
For the
Yeah.
Canadian Rimfire Precision Series, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For a minute, at least
be
until
clear.
the ended, and at least until the end of dinner after the match, I was the champion of the world. That's how that worked.
All right. Adriel, got any 3-gun matches coming up?
I don't know, one or two.
I don't know.
Let's see. Mighty Pieces are running their 3-gun match June 23rd at the Wapiti Shooters Club in Grand Prairie. The 3-gun Outlaw shoot at the Rock Cut will be happening at the Rock Cut Shooting Club on June 23rd. Lethbridge 3-gun will be running a match on June 24th. Lambden Sportsman's 3-gun will be running a match on June 24th. BTSA will be running their Canada Day 3-gun match on July 2nd. Northwest 3-gun will be running a match July 7th at the Terrace Rod and Gun Club. Chaz will be running a 3-gun match on July 7th. PFI Canada will be running their Vancouver Island 3-gun nation match on July 7th. And BTSA will be running their Action Shooting League Monday nights.
Excellent. I did want to talk about Maple Seed, the limited edition patch that we were talking about last week. Well, there was only 25. Well, less than that probably because a couple of them sold. There's only about 25 left to sell. So go to the website. So go to mapleseedrifleman.com. Go to the store and buy the patch. It's $30, and then, as I said, there's only 150 made. So Sunday, that's it. Sunday at midnight, we're stopping all sales. And then we're going to draw for the rifle that is the Chiappa LA 322. So that was donated by Ben Click from Sierra 64 and Tier 1 Armory. So we're going to draw for it on Monday, but we want to sell all of the patches if we can. Sunday is the last day for sales.
Can you give a brief description of what that rifle is, other than just the
It's
letters and names?
Yep. So it's a lever action. It's a 22, and it is a breakdown or takedown model.
Okay.
So it's cute. You should look it up.
Now, is it a lever action or a lever action?
Oh, stop.
Is it Chiappa or Chiappa?
Oh.
Lanyard.
Lane. Trevor, love
Yes. I love you too.
you. Ryan McLean. We are going to do this one more time, and then we'll put it away for a little bit, I think. Ryan McLean has the 2018 Meaford Long Range Steel Challenge. It's sponsored by Cadex Defense and is taking place on September 7th and to the 9th. The spots are filling up fast. For more information, you can just go and Google it. They have a Facebook page. They are also looking for RSO still. So just shoot Ryan off a message and he'll send you the link to register for that as well. Because if you're an RSO, you get really cool things. You also get to stay for free and also your meals paid for as well. So it's kind of cool.
We should probably use the term send him a message, not shoot Ryan a message.
No,
don't shoot Ryan.
You don't want to shoot him. Just send him.
Yeah.
It is a gun, like it's a podcast, right? Shoot.
Yeah, but that's where things can get confusing.
The Ontario cowboy mounted shooting. Do we really want to talk about this? We've talked about it a couple times.
And it's also like in 2 days. So.
Yes. No. Move on. So the charity shoot. Do you have some updated information for that, Trevor? You haven't been on in like forever in 2 days.
Just a reminder to people to bring extra ammo besides what you need for the silhouette and besides what you need for the steel challenge shoot, because the way the day is going to run, if you show up, you go to the registration building, you pay your money, and you tell us what events you want to register for, and we'll give you your silhouette score sheet. The trap score sheet will be handled by the trap people. The steel challenge score sheet will be handled by Practice scoring app. And if you want to take part in the steel challenge, everybody shooting the steel challenge will go to the back of the range, do the steel challenge part. And it's 100 rounds minimum. You're going to have misses, so it's a good idea to bring double in the steel challenge, especially if you've never shot steel before at speed. But then when that's done, the silhouette's done, and the trap is done, we're going to open up the 200-meter rifle range and the range that the silhouette shoot was on. And it's going to be a free shoot. Shoot as much as you want. On the range where the 22 silhouette shoot happened, you've been on there. Everybody except for Adriel has shot there. You know what I'm talking about. It's the one with the covered firing point perpendicular to the rifle range. We're going to set up reactive steel targets that you don't need to go down and reset. So there'll be a plate rack with a rope. Then you pull the rope, you reset the plate rack. There'll be a hostage target. There'll be a dueling tree. So all that is X-Metal target stuff. So you can grab a buddy and go race on the dueling tree. You can plink on the plate rack, do whatever you want. So bring extra ammo for that. So you can either go there and just on your own time, shoot at your leisure, try your buddy's gun, that sort of stuff. You can do the same thing on the rifle range. It'll be a free-for-all rifle shoot. In the background, smoke on the water will be there. So when the events are done, grab some barbecue, grab some rifle shooting, grab some pistol shooting. And while you guys are doing that, myself and the other podcasters will be working out the scores and getting ready to give out the awards. And so bring lots and lots and lots of ammo. When you think you have enough, bring more. So, and don't just bring the guns that you need for the events you're going to participate in. If you've got some cool milsurp you haven't shot in a couple of years, bring that out. Shoot that on the rifle range. You know, there's going to be a lot. You're not going to stand around long at this thing. You're going to be shooting pretty much constantly. The only time you're going to be waiting is if you decide not to shoot the steel challenge. Remember, the steel challenge can be shot with a 22 rifle. We're going to be giving out awards for 22 pistol, 22 rifle, and 9mm and above handgun. We're keeping it simple. Don't get into the, well, what if my rifle has a red dot? What if my rifle has a scope? The answer is shut up and have fun. I don't care. So, but just know that you don't have to have a pistol to shoot the steel challenge. So if you want to take the 22 rifle that you intended to shoot the silhouette shoot with, you can use that same rifle to go shoot the steel challenge. So don't let not having a pistol stop you from shooting the steel challenge. Keep that in mind. Steel challenge can be shot with a 22 rifle. All right. So if you're not shooting the steel challenge, you're going to sit around and wait. Once the steel challenge is done, you're either shooting trap or shooting silhouette or waiting to do one or the other. When you've done all three of those events, you're done. When everyone's done all three of those events, so hopefully there won't be much waiting and people will all finish relatively quickly. That's when we'll open up the pistol bay and the rifle range for just a free-for-all while we calculate the scores and figure out who won which event. And then shortly after that, we'll be done for the day.
Awesome.
Trevor, quick question.
Yes.
Will there be an aggregate of all these?
No, there will
scores?
not be an
Okay.
aggregate of anything.
Okay,
Because
good.
it's
Because
not-
I was okay.
It's not that kind of a thing.
That's fair. I just was gonna, if it was, if you're going to an event where there's an aggregate, make sure the ROs use a consistent name for yourself on your scorecard, not just throwing in little nicknames and stuff like that. So then the scorekeepers at the other end get things all confused because they're not in on the joke, and your scores
Right.
get messed up a little bit, and you don't get full credit for all your scores.
You mean
There's
from-
that.
Just
and
maybe,
also-
maybe that's happened at other events.
Also
previous.
important that all the ROs run the event the same way. So one RO runs it one way and then he goes to lunch and the other RO runs it a different way, and you miss the target, then you shoot at that same target again and hit it, but you're still awarded a miss, but you just hit it, so you didn't actually miss it. So yeah, no, there's none of that. This is the emphasis is on fun and
Mhm.
raising money. So all the shooting events are quite simple. You either hit the clay bird or you didn't. You either knocked over the steel silhouette or you didn't. And your time is your time in the steel challenge. And we'll have awards for each of those events. And the awards are being sponsored by, Kelly, do you want to say that company name? I don't remember who it is.
It's Legion. Yeah, just hold on a second.
Okay, no, never mind. We'll
Legion
announce-
Ventures. That's it.
Legion Ventures. Legion Ventures has
Right.
been generous enough to sponsor the awards, because otherwise there wouldn't have been awards, because I'm not using any of the money that's supposed to go into children's breakfast program to buy $3 pieces of Taiwanese tin with a number on the front of it. So I want all the money that we raise, because we're not going to raise a lot of money because we're in the middle of nowhere, and we're going to get some really hardcore dedicated people, but we're not going to see Ontario numbers. It's just not going to happen because we're too far. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Or Alberta numbers.
Or Alberta numbers. So all the money that's raised is going to charity. Nothing is going to actually pay for the cost of the event. The trap guys are sponsoring the clays, but you got to bring your own ammo, of course, and you need to bring trap appropriate ammo. Bring trap ammo, which is number 7.5 or 8. Don't show up with 3-inch magnums, please, thinking you're funny. You won't be allowed to shoot. I think that's it. Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
Any updates on the Furlachi hand course?
Yes, still have a couple of spots open.
Okay.
We're still doing the pub night for Slamfire Radio listeners and CCFR folks, July 12th at Brewster's in West Edmonton. That's Thursday, July 12th. And the Furlachi course itself is the 14th and the 15th, depending on, you can take one or both. There's still spots available, and we're going to be back in St. Paul at the Rafter 5B range. That's where we were the first time, and there is rough camping available on site, so you can bring a tent and actually stay on site.
Awesome. Okay.
Or a camper.
Or a camper.
Yeah.
Camper.
And if you have a camper with some beds, we need a place to stay. Matthew and Adriel and I, we're kind of homeless right now. We don't have our usual location. So
How about a tent?
how about not? I will drive to a hotel. I don't tent. I'm an adult with a job, not a hobo.
Okay, but I've got a glamping tent. It's
No such thing.
insulated. You can sleep in if you want to.
Glamping for me is staying at a Super 8. Okay.
Okay.
That's as glamping as I'm going to get.
We could always do a Super 8 in St. Paul. It'd probably be cheap.
Perfect.
What's glamping? Is that like LARPing?
Yeah.
No, it's not pretending to camp. Well, he's kind of pretending to camp.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Yes, it
Glamp.
is.
Yeah.
It's not camping.
Last
at all.
time I went camping in a tent, Adriel, I actually brought the mattress off of my bed and put that inside the tent on a piece of
That's-
carpet.
That's glamping hardcore, man.
Darn right.
You brought your bed.
I brought my actual queen size. No, it was a double mattress. Put it in the back of the truck. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm
Why don't
old,
we-
man.
Yes, you are. Why
Hey,
don't we
you're
move-
older. Baited you. Baited you good too.
Why don't we move on to new gun stuff? Because there's nothing in the news. Adriel, you put this in?
Yeah, you bet. Iron Guns have some of those FN PS90s in stock.
No way.
Yeah, they're kind of
Are
neat.
these the ones that chambered in that little ridiculous round that
Yeah,
Impossible to get.
5.7 by 28, 20 something. It's a skinny little round. It's like
Ridiculous.
223, but like smaller. Yeah, they got those. So if you want to be, what's it? Battlestar Galactica, Stargate. Is it Stargate that has all the PS90s?
Yes.
I don't know. It's a very futuristic gun. It's
Not Battlestar
featured in
Galactica. They use the Beretta.
Okay. Anyways, you can buy one.
But you can't buy the ammo or spare parts.
I feel like Questar has the ammo. At least they had the ammo. I don't know.
The police in Halifax had them for a while, but they ditched them because the cost of ammo and the maintaining them and getting parts was just not practical.
Just leave it in the car, and if you need it, you need it.
Yeah.
Be neat, but yeah. Anyways, Wolverine has been sharing some parts, some pictures of the production WK-180C. So they just got in a few into their shop. They weighed them. They came in at 7 pounds even, which is pretty good. Right around where it should be. And they look kind of neat. I don't know. They look about the same as they've always looked. It's a 180 style receiver and charging handle on the left or right, whatever you want. And some standard AR-15 furniture that you're going to leave on or you're going to ditch immediately. I'm going to ditch it immediately and put some better stuff on, but that's because I got the stuff and I have certain desires.
I think it looks easy. I think the rifle looks nice. I don't want to hear about anything else, Adriel. Just
I got that tack sack to put on there. Yeah.
That's
No.
Oh wow, this thing doesn't look horrible.
No, it looks good. Like the receiver is bulkier than an AR-15.
Square, yeah.
Yeah, but whatever.
I like that about it. I like that it was square and just kind of rough and like not I would say not refined.
Yeah, but baby got back. There's a lot of back end in that receiver. Like I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Yeah.
This thing is off the hook, out of control in the ass end.
Yeah.
Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately?
I'm not a gun. No one wants to hold me. I want to hold this.
Fair. I agree with you. I agree with everything you just said. I liked it when I got to check one out at the show in March. I liked it. I'd be interested in this.
So sweet.
Yep.
And I'm sure it's chambered in 5.56, Adriel. You'll be able to just shoot all kinds of that crappy ammo that you got.
Just garbage ammo. Might as well throw in that. Like, what is this worth, anyways?
35 cents.
Well, not much if it won't chamber in your gun.
41. It'll chamber just fine. It just wants to leave the bullet behind. You need to like fire it off.
Yeah, that's
the best way to empty a gun.
That's not it.
Yeah, just don't use the charging handle.
Charging handle, reciprocating or not?
That one's reciprocating. It's right on the bolt.
Okay, reversible or no?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go, Brian.
I don't know if you could shoot this one left. Maybe.
Yeah.
No,
you can.
Like that. You could. The charging handle is actually better this way for a lefty.
No, in terms of like the ejection port is more what I was wondering, but
it's
far forward.
It's not a bullpup. It's fine. It's not going to be in my teeth. It's one of the things I like about the Keltec RDB. The
only thing.
Yeah, the downward ejecting one. Yeah, I like it.
What could go wrong with breath slowly trickling out a tube under the barrel?
Yes. No. I've got the wrong one. The RDB is a 308, right?
Yep.
No.
No, their RFB is a 308.
RFB. Okay.
The RDB is the 5.56.
Yeah. Any gun that relies on gravity and just push it, use it, the next case to push the previous case out of the gun. That's
what
not
could go wrong.
I'm pretty sure the RDB you can shoot upside down. I'm pretty sure you can shoot it upside down.
I'm pretty sure you can shoot any gun upside down.
Yeah. The RDB can't because it actually ejects. It doesn't just trickle.
For the KFG. KFG? What? I'm thinking KFC. What's the bullpup shotgun?
Chicken.
KSG.
Yeah. KSG. Couldn't shoot that upside down. That would be a problem.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. I bet you could shoot the Baikal MP161K upside down.
So this looks like a knockoff of the Benelli M1 223 rifle.
Oh, in terms of styling, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I was thinking the Beretta Storm
A
too.
little bit of that too. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kind of like they got married and had a small 22 caliber baby.
First thing I notice is you see all those holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because it's a clamshelled piece of plastic screwed
And
together like a
yes.
water gun, and therefore I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
guns that have cheap wraparound plastic chassis held together with screws like the toy guns I grew up with in the 80s. It just, as soon as you make a real firearm assemble like a toy, I'm out. I'm sorry.
Sustained.
That
got
would
You're
be
fine
a,
with that.
that
Just
would
roll
be
with
a no from Trevor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's $350 though.
Yeah, there you go.
People are interested.
Tenda has a moving sale right now. So they've got some the same 5.56 that I can't run in my rifle is down to 419 per thousand.
How many cases you going to buy?
For just $419, you too could have jams.
I got great accuracy in this stuff with my barrel. I just wish it ran.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to ream it out just a touch.
Mm.
Just
Maybe I could just get a drill
Yeah.
bit and just
Just
put it
ream
in
it
there
out.
very carefully.
Yep.
Try 'em
A
out.
little turn.
I'll do it for you. I work at a gunsmith. I can totally do that for you. I won't even charge you.
Get Captain Andy on it. He'll fix it.
Captain Andy. He's got a mill and a lathe. He'll sort you right out.
Oh, man, I asked for the chamber to be cut and my rails are broken. It's got cracks in it now. Weird. How'd that even happen?
Captain Andy, that's how. Change his name to Captain Crunch.
he hasn't met a gun he can't break.
That's true.
Uh,
All right. You done? Poor cat.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Main topic. Our main topic tonight is all about our summer shooting plans. All the exciting things that we're going to be doing. Trevor, I know you got a lot on your plate. So why don't you tell us about all the stuff that you're going to be shooting, where you're going to be, those kind of things.
Sure thing. Tomorrow, I will be participating in the first of IPSC New Brunswick's 3 IPSC level 3 matches this summer. It's called the Southern New Brunswick 250. It's held at the Hampton Pistol and Rifle Club in Hampton, New Brunswick. So for those that aren't really familiar with the area, it's near St. John. And what's cool about this match is it always happens right around the summer solstice so that we can hold it on the longest day of the year because you shoot all 250 rounds in one day. So it's a very long match. It's a level 3. Everything is done by the book. The stages are always awesome. I like to joke with those guys and tell them they put on the second best match in New Brunswick. I put on the best one, but anyway, it's debatable. I'm sure there are some people that enjoy that match more than SummerSlam because it's different. But different is good. It's awesome. You have to be ready for this kind of an event. It's a long, hot, arduous day of shooting because you're cramming in all 250 rounds in the same day. Stage count, I'm not sure. I think it's upwards of 16, maybe more. So Muffin and I and his stepkid will be peeling out of here tomorrow, and we're actually going to be staying on site. The president of IPSC New Brunswick works at a trailer dealership, and there's like a couple of 28 footers that his company allowed him to pull onto the range. So they're sponsoring the event. But yeah, we're actually going to be camping right on site.
That's
now this
glamping.
Yeah, that's definitely glamping.
glamping.
Yeah, it's a state-of-the-art trailer with all the regular amenities, stand-up shower and satellite and big flat screen TV and all that good stuff. So but my evening will be spent going through IPSC paperwork from all the black badge and RO classes that I was a part of this year. So that'll be my Friday night, and Muffin and I and Will will shoot the match on Saturday, and then we'll stay at the range Saturday night. Probably have whiskey. I think maybe that could be a thing. Probably not though. And then come home on Sunday. The next big event I've got this summer is the charity shoot, and we just talked about that a lot. I'm really looking forward to actually shooting in these events. I went out to trap last week, actually. I forgot to mention that what I did this week in guns. I took one of the two 870s that Denny and I refinished this winter. And it's the 870 Wingmaster that I redid the receiver on, put a new barrel on, and a new set of an unused set of original vintage wood, and I decided to shoot off my left shoulder with both eyes open. You know, they say in trap shooting you should be shooting with both eyes open and looking at the clay, not looking at your gun. And so I decided to try that. I mean, I went out and shot some pheasants on New Year's Day or December 27th, something like that. I was on a resort in Nova Scotia shooting pheasants. Shooting at pheasants. There's a lot of warning shots that day. So I decided to try and learn to shoot with both eyes open on my left shoulder, and it was dismal. It was embarrassing. I hope Jason Philp doesn't hear this, but I shot 2 12s back to back. I shoot better with my left eye closed using my right shoulder. However, I believe that if I stick to my left shoulder and I stick to both eyes open, my scores will eventually come up to not only where I shot off my right shoulder, but they should surpass. So
shooting off your left shoulder is so hard with a shotgun. It just doesn't feel natural. And a lot of what you have to do with shotgun is like instinctual shooting, right?
Right. Yep. So, but I'm kind of ambidextrous.
Wait. So you're going to shoot left-handed?
What?
No, I'm going to shoot left eye.
On your left. Okay, wait. Okay, well, slow down. So
Yes.
in the last 12 months, you have switched to 1911s.
Yep.
Adopted the SKS, and now you're shooting left-handed. What? Who are you? What happened to you? You're not my friend anymore. I don't know you.
I don't believe in nothing no more. Yep.
Now, on an actual slightly more serious point, because I started shooting shotgun and I shot it right-handed, I still kind of lean towards shooting a heavy recoiling gun like a shotgun on my right shoulder.
Right.
I find it really doesn't feel right on my left. Even though I'm left-handed, I'm left eye dominant, it just doesn't work as well for me. So I'm all kinds of confused.
Well, I mean, let's face it. I'm never going to be an Olympic trap shooter.
Not with that attitude, you're not, mister.
That's right. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. So anyway, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. But I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do because am I going to start hunting with a shotgun off my left shoulder? In theory, I should, right? Because what is trap if not practice for hunting?
Yeah. Well, really, sporting clays is really more practice for hunting, but yeah,
they're both just practice for 3-gun.
Yeah, because there's no speedy reloads, so it's not practice for 3-gun at all.
Well,
not if you don't want there to be. Run a chest rig.
And Adriel, I used to shoot trap just as an excuse to practice with my 3-gun shotgun. But when I shoot 3-gun, this is a bad idea. I'm going back to right because I do everything else right. I do my shotgun right for 3-gun, and failed experiment. I'm going back. All right.
Okay, I feel less confused.
Okay. All right. Listen, I am not confused about my identity as a right-handed shooter. Okay. This is not something that's fluid. Let's stop. I just experimented a little like that time in college. And now I'm going back.
It's all good, but let's not talk about it here on the podcast.
Right.
No.
But all joking aside, Brian, I may be a left-handed person and don't know it because I'm left eye dominant, and my father and my sister are left-handed. So it's quite possible that going to a French Catholic school, I tried to. They probably beat it out of me. Yeah. So who knows?
They had so much that they probably threw that in there as another reason to beat you. Yeah.
They didn't need. I gave them plenty. Don't worry.
Well, yeah.
So charity shoot. I'm looking forward to getting some extra runs on those steel challenge stages again. I'm also looking forward to being reminded during the Maple Seeds shoot how to use a sling. And
I thought you were making me sandwiches.
You really thought wrong. Like,
come on.
If I make you a sandwich, everything is upside down.
Kelly, you got to say, "Make me a sandwich."
I did. Okay, I'm gonna go back in the transcripts.
It's Sam Mitch.
Yeah. I know it's sandwich. It's SAMMICH. It's a sandwich. I want a sandwich.
I want to remember how to use a sling for shooting the silhouette shoot. I'm looking forward to doing that, and I expect to do well. Then after the charity shoot, heading to Alberta, McClatchy and I will hook up with Adriel. We'll go teach 2 days of handgun training. And then I'm on vacation for a few weeks. I come back just in time for SummerSlam. SummerSlam is going to be really cool because this year I'm going to be doing my Range Master mentorship. So this is something, I've asked the president of the NROI to be the Range Master for SummerSlam, and I asked if I could mentor under him, because right after that, I go work as a Chief Range Officer at the Nationals. So 2 years in a row now, I've been selected to work as a Chief Range Officer at the Canadian IPSC Nationals, and that's a requirement on your way to becoming a Range Master. So in this province, we have maybe, if he is an actual Range Master, I'm not sure, we have maybe one Range Master under the age of 60. So it's time for some new officials to start stepping up and trying to fill those vacancies as these guys are getting tired and being less active in the sport.
And in the short term, you look like you fit in with that age group. It's all good.
You're going to inject some new blood, but
I didn't say anything.
Oh wow, you guys are Richards. That's crazy. I missed it so much, though. I'm so glad to be back. So at the Nationals, what'll happen is I'll get out there and shoot the pre-match, and then work 4 days. So for 4 days, I'll be assigned a stage or 2 stages or a bay, let's say, and every day I'll get a new work crew. So if the CROs are dedicated to the match, like they don't change every day. The ROs and the patchers do change every day. So if you're not part of the match staff, you get a schedule. So it's usually like work 1 full day and shoot some half days. And so you could, so on day 1, I'll get, 5 or 6 people come see me. And of them, they'll be made up of shooters who listed on their application for the match that they're an RO. So they will do the ROing, and the other shooters will do the patching and the resetting and the painting and stuff like that. So that way, when it's your turn to shoot, all you do is shoot. And this is something that I'm hoping to bring to SummerSlam. SummerSlam is a 2-day match. So I'd like SummerSlam to be, you shoot all the stages in 1 day, and then you work 1 day. But I don't have enough people signed up for the match to have enough actual ROs to, make full work crews. So we'll see how it goes. I think Jim has an idea for scheduling this year to help eliminate bottlenecks. Bottlenecks are when you arrive at a stage, it's your turn to shoot, and the other squad is still there because for reasons they just haven't left yet. And so then it causes a trickle effect and everything gets backed up. So
yeah, just like on a golf course or something like that. Exactly, if you have a slow squad or a slow stage, it can add up. And
I like my range master. I love him, but he doesn't stick to his guns. You're not supposed to let people skip ahead. So what happens is they skip ahead, and then the squad that's supposed to be at that stage arrives. It's their turn to be there, and you're there. Now another bottleneck has happened, and it's happened because the range master allowed it to happen. Just say no, man. Just say no.
For on your single day events, Trevor, do you have the ROs shoot along with a squad?
Yes.
Or
when we have a level 2 match in New Brunswick, that could be anything from 8 to 12 stages. Each squad, you appoint a range master, you have a match director, and each squad, if you have a CRO, you appoint a CRO, and then the shooters are the ROs. So 1 minute you're shooting, the next minute you're taking your gun off and you're grabbing the timer. And we self-RO each other all day. We do everything ourselves. The squad is a self-contained unit of CRO, ROs, and shooters. And if you're not an RO, you're a patcher or a painter or a resetter. If you're an RO, we try and set up the shooting order so that, okay, Adriel, you're an RO, Brian's an RO, I'm an RO. We can't be back-to-back. We need to spread each other out. So you'll RO a couple of guys, and then you'll stop like 2 guys before it's your turn to shoot. Then I'll RO a couple of guys, etc.
Cool.
So we just don't have the population to have people who show up and just want to RO. Like I don't. There are those people out there that show up to a match and just RO. I'm like, I would never get out of bed to go RO a match. Like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, even referees in hockey used to play once upon a time, you know, like, and anyway, I'm glad those people are out there and they just want to RO matches. But I also believe that a good RO is a good shooter. If you're not actively shooting and keeping up with how things change, and yeah, so
from what I've heard from other podcasts and stuff, what bigger matches will do is they'll have all the ROs come in and shoot the match, and on say the Friday, and then the actual match is on the Saturday, Sunday, whatever, and then those ROs get paid by not having to pay a match fee. Something along those lines.
Yeah, and if you have enough people, you can do that. But I mean, I couldn't. I don't have the time and flexibility in the schedule and the range schedule to have the ROs shoot the match on Saturday and then have them RO for the rest of the world on Sunday. Those numbers don't exist out here. Now the Nationals, what they do is they pay the CROs, so I'll be paid a fee to stand there for 4 days and be responsible for a stage or a bay, depending on how it's configured. And we shoot the match for free, and we're paid to do that because, like, we're a dedicated match staff. We don't get to go anywhere. We don't get, you know, so we shoot the pre-match. Now these guys are doing it. Like last year when I shot the pre-match in Calgary, I was squatted with everyone who shot the pre-match was either range staff that were going to be repairing things or doing stats or whatever, or dedicated CROs. So I was with a group of CROs. So they appointed me, my first time ever at the Nationals, as a CRO, the CRO for the squad of CROs, all of which who had a lot more experience than I did. So I was very intimidated at first. And that's when I learned that when you are a dedicated CRO for a squad, you don't actually RO, because you're the next step in the chain of command. If there's a problem between the shooter and the RO, the first person they call is the CRO. Well, if the CRO was the one ROing the shooter and the shooter doesn't like the RO's call, well, now we got to go straight to the range master.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. I didn't have to RO them, but I was also the CRO. So it went fine because they were all really awesome people to learn from and shoot with and stuff. So now this year, we are going to be shooting the match the exact same way all the other competitors are going to be shooting the match. In Calgary, we had to RO each other, we had to patch, we had to paint, we had to do that. Well, this year in Winnipeg, they're going to have dedicated match staff for the pre-match. So it's going to be a genuine, authentic pre-match, not like work out the kinks, not like, you know, patch and RO each other. We're going to show up and we're going to shoot the whole match in one day, but we're going to be just shooting, shoot, move on, shoot, move on. It's going to be awesome. So it's going to be just like as if I was attending the regular schedule of the Nationals and not doing the pre-match because I'm working. So I'm really looking forward to see how that works. So the other challenge I have in trying to have dedicated staff for SummerSlam is, well, I mean, no, it's far away. So to hire CROs and have them come in. So my pre-match is on Wednesday, Thursday, and then we clean up the range on Friday to prepare for the main match on Saturday and Sunday. So if I was going to hire dedicated CROs to work Saturday and Sunday, I'd have to pay them a lot of money because they'd have to stay in town Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, go home on Monday. It'd just be like going to the Nationals, but only for a 2-day match. So I think if I can get enough people signed up who are officials, you'll work a day, shoot a day. So that's it. Brian, what about you? What are your summer plans involve? Oh, wait, I got one. No, go ahead.
Okay, so listeners, let's pretend that I talked for half an hour about minutia about what I'm doing. Then I'll just give you the Coles Notes version right now. Let's see. I've got, and I'm just looking. Oh crap! When is my? Oh, there it is. In August, I have a 5-day service rifle clinic with Milken, so that should be really exciting. Hopefully, it'll be awesome. I will be commuting.
Are
I
you
will-
putting it on, or are you
No, no.
attending?
I'm attending. I'm a student.
So how'd you do in the Service Rifle Nationals last year?
Like 13th, something like that.
You,
Something like, yeah.
Who are you taking this from?
It's with Keith and Linda at
From
Milcon. So
Mm.
yeah. So I'm just trying to get more better. It works out. This was probably going to be. It's actually the first year they've had it in quite a while, and it works into my schedule. So I'm taking it. So giddy up. It'll be awesome. I'll be doing various other little service rifle clinics with them here and there. A couple Saturdays. I've got a steel pistol practice coming up this weekend, so it'll be my chance to shoot some steel challenge kind of stuff. Then I've got nationals, and SCC starts at the end of August, stretches into the first full week of September. So I'll be shooting pistol, precision rifle, probably if I can find a shooting partner, and then I'll shoot the service rifle. So it'll be some fun. I don't know if my partner from last year is coming this year, so I'm all sad about that. But you know, I understand that he's a busy guy. He's going all over everywhere with Maple Seed and this CRPS stuff. So I guess he's got to let something slide. I don't know.
He's letting you slide.
It is what it is. Then I didn't rejoin the Ontario Rifle Association this year, but I am going to go as a guest to shoot the CQB championship, because the way to win a championship is to not shoot any of the same kind of matches before the championship. Just show up cold and shoot it and be awesome, right? That should work. No, not a recipe for success, but it's a recipe for fun.
Well, it's a
Not
recipe.
cool,
Yeah.
But if you can show up hungover, that's the most ideal thing.
Yeah, I tend to not do that because I don't enjoy being hungover as
I
much as I never ever
He's
did. I
grumpy.
really- yeah.
You're grumpy.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this supposed to be news to me? Because like I live with me every day. I know I'm grumpy. Okay, this is not. And then I may be doing something kind of wacky. An actual biathlon. Well, sort of a biathlon.
Is that what you're training for?
No, I'm not actually training for anything in particular. But the local cross country / mountain bike hill is having a biathlon. So you do
Cool.
either run or bike, and then they're going to have air rifle shooting stations. I'm sort of tempted to do that because it's sort of a combination of a couple of my interests there. So we'll see how that.
How long is the bike and how long is the run?
I don't know any of the details.
Oh, when is it?
The 23rd of September, I think. I have that much. So
That's the same day as the army run. Can't go. Sorry.
how about what?
The army runs the same day. Can't go.
Guess what I'll do? If I can either drive 6 hours to Ottawa or I can drive 20 minutes to Hardwood Hills. Guess which one I'm gonna get?
You're
do?
driving 6 hours to see me.
Heck no, no way, no, not happening, Kels. No,
Fine, whatever.
I will have just been in Ottawa for national, so no, I will not be wanting to do that drive again.
Trevor flew to see me in Ottawa.
Trevor's not
True
me.
story.
Do you notice Trevor over there?
Hi.
Over there, and then
Yep.
there's me. Different people,
Different
not
people.
the same human.
Different priorities, Kelly.
I know.
Yes, you are a priority for Trevor. You are not a priority for me. There, I said. it.
Ouch, man. Ouch. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
Trevor was gonna go
Yeah,
there, and I cut the knees out from under him.
You did. You took it from me. So
It's a win.
I didn't get to make
No.
myself look good, but you still managed to make yourself look bad, and somehow you think that's a win.
Well, okay, you would have made yourself look good while making me look bad. I just made myself look bad without you looking good.
Huh.
So it's kind of I didn't lose as hard as I could have.
Wow.
So
That's
it's
a-
kind of a win. Don't
a-
think about it too hard.
Don't
Trevor.
worry.
It'll hurt.
When you see each other, it'll hurt.
Ouch. Oh, yeah. Well, see, what I'm afraid of is that you and I will go to another active killer defense class, and you'll beat me. up
Oh
about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
Fine.
dead.
We don't want that.
Kelly, that was my favorite part when Rick grabbed that guy. That was awesome.
Which Red,
Uh,
huh?
You
I
don't
don't-
remember Rick grabbing that guy in my room? Come at me, bro. And he tied him up in a little
yeah,
knot. Yeah, that was awesome.
Sandro. Yeah.
I didn't say his name. You had to say his name. I said that guy. I said that guy on purpose. Like I know what the man's name was. I didn't want to embarrass him in front of all of our listeners about Rick grabbing him. Kelly.
Yeah, sorry, Sandro.
Faux pas. So you said it again, just in case somebody didn't hear it the first time.
Hi, Sean.
You're a genius.
Yeah, anyways.
It wasn't Sean.
I'm just
Brian,
saying.
quick,
Sean's
quick,
gonna be listening.
Brian, dig up because
I'm not digging at all. This is you guys digging. I'm out. I finished my list, and now you guys are reliving the past. I don't understand.
well, you mentioned
Yeah,
active killer
you had to
defense.
be
and
there.
instructor- Yeah,
3
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
it was awesome.
Lots of whiskey was.
Kelly, look at me. I'm raising my hand, Kelly.
I was somewhere at 3 o'clock that morning, but I wasn't there, and that's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sean and I were in
Oh.
the planning meeting on Sunday, Kelly, and people started to raise their hand to talk, and Sean and I just giggled. Things were getting heated in my room, Brian. So
Trevor made everybody raise their hand.
yeah,
I
you
don't-
had to raise your
I
hand to
don't-
talk. It was awesome. Whiskey
I-
rules. Whiskey classroom rules.
Oh my god.
Are you
Eh.
done, Brian?
Hey, Adriel,
Hey,
what
Adrian,
are you gonna do this summer for fun matches?
I'm gonna go shoot some squirrels or gophers or something, I guess.
Cool. With 5.56 or 2.23?
The
you
one
went
I
to
got
5.56,
soft points
We're
for.
gonna miss.
Maybe I'll cut the ends off so that they're soft points.
It's squirrels and gophers. You don't need soft points. You don't need expansion.
But you can get it.
Well,
Cut the ends off.
you can explode them pretty good.
Yeah, they explode real good.
Let's see. Yeah, what am I doing this summer? Let's
Divorce
see
is
here.
divorce in your list?
It's adding like supporting elements to that eventuality. Yep. Let's see. Charity
Oh,
events.
working towards it.
Yeah. It basically half of every month is dedicated to shooting now. So not joking. Let's see here. On the 5th, I'll be doing the charity event.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. I'll be coming back home for the 11th, just in time to have Trevor and Matthew over and teach that course with them. Apparently, they're staying like well past their welcome, like way past the course into like Wednesday of the next week. So we're gonna go shoot some gophers.
Excuse you, I leave on Tuesday. Matthew's the one warming his welcome or overstaying his welcome by
Yeah.
staying until Wednesday.
That's okay. You guys can have the room upstairs, and you guys can just cook. You'll enjoy that. Let's see. Start of August, I have a match in Prince George. That's going to be a long weekend toast there. Then I have the weekend after 2 Chaz events, a 2-day. So the one day is just going to be a 3-gun. Then the one after that's going to be that historical 2-gun. And then we're into September. I don't have all my events in just yet for September. So I guarantee it'll have 2 in there. Yeah, a ton of 3-gun. A ton of 3-gun.
Ton of?
Is
it metric?
A metric ton, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a tone of.
A ton.
Tone, 1 tone, yeah, 1 tone of 3-gun. That's my summer plans, including checking out the Dunvargan Whooper in Hooper in New Brunswick.
Dungarvan Hooper.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's super famous. I've always wanted to go there and hear it.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever. Super famous.
Oh yeah, we know about it in Alberta. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my summer.
That's your summer?
Yeah.
Can I hear mine?
Maybe I'll shoot some gophers. Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
So-
Maybe 100 or 200 or 500 or so. I don't know.
On a day?
Hundreds. Yeah, hundreds.
On a day? One day?
Each day. Yep.
Each
yeah.
day. Okay. All right. So, me.
So, mhm.
Yes. Me, I'm going to be doing the Maple Seeds, obviously. We're going to New Brunswick in 2 weeks, right, Trevor?
2 weeks?
Couple of weeks.
Wow, I better start training my liver now.
Yep. So New Brunswick, we're going to do PEI. We're going to do Nova Scotia, so Dartmouth. Then we're going back to New Brunswick. Then we're coming back to Ontario. And then we're going to pretty much take a couple weeks off. And then we're going out to Alberta. So driving down to Michigan to get Miss Stacy. We're driving through the States. Then we're coming up to Alberta. So we're going to do Alberta. Going to do a whole bunch of events in Alberta. We're going to go see Adriel.
Cool.
It's been confirmed. So we're going to be putting out the Eventbrite links soon for that.
Oh, I need to add that to my calendar.
Yeah, it's the 8th of August, by the way. So.
Oh,
make
there's
sure-
my second event in August.
Yeah.
Sorry, third event in August. Woo.
Yes. And then we're going to Saskatchewan. We're going to go to Saskatoon, a couple other places, and then we're going to Manitoba, and that's it for August. Except for the rest of the team. There's another team that's going out to Alberta and Saskatchewan. So once they come back, then I'm going to go to Meaford to do the RO for the Steel Challenge that's out there. We have a ladies, it's also in September. We have a ladies' day that's going to be in Ottawa for EOSC. Then I have a ladies' day in September as well for Napanee. And then after that, October and November, almost every weekend will be Maple Seeds in Ontario. So we're going to do Barrie. So we'll get that arranged. We're hoping to do Northern Ontario and then also Southwestern Ontario as well. And then, of course, a couple around, Kingston and the area. So that's it. Maple Seed 24/7. That's my life.
Okay, important question. Is
Right.
Kevin doing nationals?
Important question. The last time I heard, yes, he's booked it. So does that mean that he's actually going to do it? I don't know. You have to ask him.
Yeah, it's more convenient for me to ask you right now. That's
Yep,
what I'm saying.
and
But I could, yeah. But
But I
that's
could-
cool.
But
That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good. When I
Okay.
get serious about it, I'll message him.
yeah, he probably will need a partner. Anyways, just saying.
I thought
Maybe. I don't know.
you were his partner.
This is for precision rifle, Trevor. Don't
Oh.
make this sorted.
Don't ruin this too.
Don't ruin this too.
Okay.
Yes, he's planning on shooting nationals, and he's been preparing for it as well. His match this weekend got canceled for some reason, but you guys don't need to know that. This is a podcast. Anyways.
Speaking about
Oh.
this being a podcast, do you need to stay at my place when you're in Edmonton? Or are you guys staying at a hotel?
No, we're staying with you.
You
How many
don't
days?
you don't have room for them all.
2, and tell your wife.
How many people, Kelly?
Me, Greg, and Stacy. Maybe Rick as well.
He's got one small room upstairs where it's 100 degrees and 2 beds.
Three and a half. That's fine.
We can sleep on the floor.
And that'll be
Yeah.
on the 7th and 8th, both?
Yes.
Okay.
Of August?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna be a hot box in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
these
used
are
to
things
it.
that
Don't
aren't my
worry about
problem.
it.
I don't know if the listeners caught that, but Adriel quietly said into the mic a list of things that aren't my problem. I love it.
We'll bring a fan.
I'll put one fan up there.
Thanks. It's,
Hey, that's more than Matthew and I get.
it's because
that's
he likes
okay.
me better.
It's gonna be me, Matthew, and Christina all sharing that room. Oh man. And apparently she's not traveling with her CPAP machine, so that'll be fun. Speak of the devil. Hi, hon.
Hi, Christina.
Maybe
I'm waiting for
the
the name.
Patreons should buy the show like a little portable air conditioner that you can just leave at Adriel's,
Oh, I should
since
probably just
most
buy
of the
one
show
those.
is staying there.
I should just buy one of those. My kids are already like losing their minds. It's so hot.
So hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty hot this week.
Yep.
All right. Listener feedback from the YouTube. Who's been paying attention? I know that there's a couple
I
of
have.
questions.
Yeah. Brian, do you make laser noises while riding the trails on your bike, pretending that you're a stormtrooper blasting Ewoks on Endor, or a rebel running from the stormtroopers, Trevor?
No, I'm too out of breath when I'm biking. I can't make little noises, so no.
Okay. Do you shoot the targets while riding by on the bike?
I haven't yet. Working on that on this very public, well-used trail system that I'm biking on. No,
Mhm.
I have not been doing very much shooting. I've
You
been
could
trying to
practice
keep
with airsoft.
I
Right.
could. You're right. However,
Pew, pew, pew.
On your
hasn't come up,
holster.
hasn't come up yet. No. Yeah, no.
Are you
You can
wearing
bike with- you
spandex
can
and where
bike
are you
with
putting
no
that
hands,
holster?
right?
I'm just asking.
For a friend.
Brian, you can bike with no hands, right? That'll let you draw too.
for about a half a second, and then I'm not biking anymore. I'm like,
Tumbling.
second
laying
roll.
in the ground swearing after
You're
that.
doing, you're doing backflips and front flips and remembering not to put your finger in the trigger guard when you pick it up so you don't shoot somebody else on the trail.
No. I'm not mixing though these particular hobbies. No,
Hmm.
that's not how that's
Seems
happening.
like a missed opportunity, but
It might well be. I hadn't really thought this through. I'll ponder it.
You were talking about doing the biathlon. You're just
That's a
training
different-
for it.
Yeah, it's a little different event though. Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
Anyway,
kind of.
kind of. Anyway, all right.
What
Any
other
other-
questions?
Any other ridiculous
guess-
questions about my
Well, Greg
hobbies
wants,
and personal life?
Greg wants to know, Brian, which do you prefer him to wear? Either suspender or belt?
For Greg to wear?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he can wear what he
Would-
wants. I don't really.
Yeah,
think
I'm good with either, dude. Like,
If the man wears
he's
a
not
belt,
picky.
Greg, he's not going to judge you.
He'll
Greg wears
take
a
you
kilt
as you
well.
are, Greg.
Greg, just as long as your pants or kilt stays up, I don't care how you get there. Duct tape is fine. Man,
Duct tape.
duct tape.
All right. I think that's it for the questions. All right. Listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by Highlander Tactical. Go to highlandertactical.com. Check out the great supply both outside and inside the waistband holsters today. Use promo code SLAMFIRE. It's all capital letters and all one word to check out and save 10% on your order. All right.
And if everything could just wait until like after tomorrow, when in theory my package should for sure be shipped. I don't want him distracted by new orders until my holster gets shipped.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Brian, why don't you read the one from Justin, please?
Okay. Hello, Slamfire Radio. First of all, I wanted to thank Adriel for the patch and sticker. Happy to be contributing to the show as a Patreon supporter. Do any of you guys know where I could pick up a hat that has a Velcro portion to attach said patch? Not even sure where to look. I guess Amazon would be the first place. Any possible places out in the Vancouver area?
Some of the tactical shops, like the ones
Yes.
that carry the 511
Yes,
clothing,
tactical, yeah, anything like that, or if they're
DTS tactical, DS tactical.
DS tactical, yeah, or yeah, Amazon is also a close to a one-stop shop.
Yep.
Yeah,
But if
not hard to find.
you do want to get something local in Vancouver, yep, hit up DS Tactical.
Yeah,
Any
I don't
of the,
think.
any of the stores that carry tactical clothing is going to carry those.
Yeah, I don't know if Fundy Tactical is out that far west or
I
not.
don't know.
I would assume it's on the Bay of Fundy. That's the only place in the world with the name Fundy, right?
However,
Ottawa.
there's one in Ottawa, there's one in Toronto,
Strange.
there's one in Halifax. Yeah, they're all over the place. Anyway, second question goes to Brian, which I guess is me, even though he spelled it wrong. That's okay. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how the CL Open site is working for you on your 320. I was considering the site as an alternative to a red dot, as I have an astigmatism in my eyes, and red dots do not show up for me as a crisp brown dot.
But
I've
do
got
they
the
have
same-
to?
That's the question. I find it distracting when they don't. It drives me a little bonkers, and I admit that is maybe not the most important thing to be focusing on.
Yep.
Yet here I am.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I will tell you by going to shoot steel this weekend with that gun, I'll have a really much better idea of how it reacts to actually moving from target to target and transitioning. So I haven't come up with a conclusion yet on the pistol, on that particular sighting system. We'll see. Finally, love the show and hoping Trevor will get back on and have a nice long update of what we did in guns. Well, man, and how. He got two. He did it twice.
Yep.
Anyway,
I swear I tried to keep it short.
yes. Cheers.
You did a pretty good job. You really did.
Oh,
No,
there.
no, he went, no.
You did. Could have been worse.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's got the next one, Kelly?
So, Adriel, you have Ben's.
From Ben. Hey guys, I found you a while ago and have been binge listening since. I spend a vast amount of time in the vehicle for work, so I consume a lot of podcasts because it's like radio. I love the Canadian content, the event info, and the discussion and banter, even if sometimes the Glock fanaticism is somewhat overpowering.
So he's
hey.
got to be listening to really old episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
Hey,
those
Fuego.
old episodes, like the events, they're past. Don't plan for them. They're done.
You can't go to them.
Wait
If you
till
show
you
up,
get
there
to
won't
the
be anyone
FN
there.
phase. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, the FN phase. Snuffy fell in love with an FN at the Steel Challenge. He won one. Oh, I got it. Sorry, I'm going there. Fred Lapierre, the Squire. This dude, he finished like third in production with a 4-inch FN, a pancake holster that he made himself, which is like the slowest thing in the world to draw from. And the draw time in Steel Challenge is so important. It's like half of your stage time. And he hadn't shot in forever, and Fred got after it hard. Man, can that guy shoot? He's just natural raw talent. It's amazing. And he was telling Filthy and I he's trying out for some Army marksman team that may end up in Bisley at some point. And I think at one point when the instructor said, like, if you don't die, you're on the team. That's how good he was doing. And he was unsure where his rifle skills would stack up compared to the rest of them, but he knew he would do good in the pistol. And yeah, of course he did. It was amazing. Yeah. He's shooting complete straight up duty gear and just awesome. Oh, and Filthy beat Mark Price. Everyone everywhere in the universe needs to know that Filthy beat Mark Price. And he beat him good too. And there's 2 Trevors in the match. So when I announced 7th place, which was for Trevor Grenier, right away Mark Price went, "Ha! I beat you." Wrong, Trevor, dude. Calm down.
Okay. Like, is beating Mark Price supposed to be some kind of accomplishment?
Mark Price beating other people is an accomplishment.
Okay, or a fluke.
Hey,
Yeah. So anyway,
Mark.
they had a friendly competition going, and yeah, he didn't pull through. Filthy beat him.
Well, that's
Ben
what happens.
continues.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm a SIG guy, so we aren't any better, except our guns are better.
Yeah, that's Trevor Grenier.
Yeah. Now, for the purpose of my email, I get that people don't like police, but that's not why police do the job. Many, if not all, boots on the ground, first in kind of individuals are just doing the best they can in some tough situations. But as this podcast progresses, I can't help but notice that the anti-cop rhetoric is reaching a fever pitch. I know the
Really?
country is not kind to us as gun owners. We are painted with a rough brush. But if we hate it so much, why do we do it to police officers? Why on the CCFR Facebook page are cops scared to out themselves? Why, as gun owners, must we aggressively approach police? I think that gets you shot. It's not the boots on the ground kind of guys making ridiculous law. Ask the officer to stand up and ignore his orders is not fair either. These people have families and lives, and to ask them to breach their oath is not fair. I wasn't sure you were aware, but from the outside looking in, that's how I feel. Ignore it, listen to it. The choice is yours. I'll remain a faithful listener as long as I can. Thanks for your time, your friend, Ben.
So, Ben, we're very far from anti-cop. We're pro-cop. We may publicly chastise decisions made by the RCMP in Ottawa, but when it comes to boots on the ground, there was a cop showed up at my house tonight in the middle of podcasting. We train with cops. There's actually going to be, the RCMP are going to be training on the range the same time as the Ferlacci class is going on during the charity shoot. We have cops that are listeners. We've trained with cops. We continue to train and support frontline officers, train with and support frontline officers. Kelly essentially works in law enforcement. So if you're getting that impression, we apologize. It's not the impression we go for. We are pro-cop. Not even that. We're not even anti-cop. We're actually pro-cop. They're the ones that we're going to call if we need them. So to crap on them makes absolutely no sense. So any anti-cop rhetoric that you're picking up is simply us picking on policy made by people in Ottawa, the firearms lab, stuff like that. Frontline officers.
Or on accidents, because I think we've talked a couple of times about some accidents where
I'll pick on anybody who makes a mistake. I don't care if they're a cop or not. They're not going to get a pass because they're a cop. When like that FBI guy did the backflip and picked up his gun by the trigger guard, I want to be the first one to say, oh, and the antis say that only law enforcement and military should have weapons, right? Well, anybody can make a mistake. And the fact of the matter is police don't receive nearly enough training. Right. And so it's not necessarily their fault, but individuals need to take responsibility to go out and get additional training, regardless if they're law enforcement or civilian.
Yep.
So, anyway, in closing, we're pro cop, we're anti sig, and all I have to
No,
say
we're
about
not.
that. Trevor Graney has got a brand new SIG, and it won't lock back on any of his mags, and they're SIG factory mags. It's a brand new, expensive gun, and it doesn't work right out of the box.
But have you tried the SIG X5?
Don't care. And
I've
handled it. I've handled it and stuff, but I take a SIG X5 over the 226 or the 229.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think the X5 is like a proper shooting gun, whereas the other two are dated.
Yeah.
Okay, guess what, Trevor? You get the big long one because you gave me yours. So Amanda D is yours.
I didn't give you mine. What are you
yes,
talking
you
about?
did. Go.
I just got on the show. What are you talking about? You talking about Brian made you read mine?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, again, that wasn't me, so I don't know why I'm being picked on, but I will not put up the fight that you put up. I will step up and give Amanda D
You're a
the
good man. You're much better than I am.
Okay. Yeah, I am a better man than you are. Hello, beautiful podcasters. I encountered Slamfire a couple of months ago through a random Facebook link a friend posted, and I've been hooked. I've rapidly been catching up on both older episodes and the newer ones too, and you guys have been just great to listen to on my way to and from work, and have definitely motivated me to get more involved in the shooting sports. It's great to have Kelly and see all she is doing for women in the shooting community. I'm a 29-year-old woman living in Vancouver who very much expected the shooting community to be 100% a boys club, and while in a lot of cases it is, I'm so glad people are working to get more of us out shooting. I know I've been trying to convince my girlfriends to come with me to the range after some advice from your taking people to the range episode.
Nice.
I got into shooting sort of unintentionally. I got my RPAL when I was a bit younger and was working towards trying to join the CBSA. I've been down that road myself, actually. But before I got through the whole process of joining the CBSA, I ended up with an opportunity to go in a completely different direction career-wise, and just thought my license would end up being a souvenir of my adventures, until a friend had a birthday and he celebrated at one of the walk-in shooting ranges in town. I ended up enjoying myself enough that I decided to buy a couple of guns on my own and start learning on.
Nice.
Long story short, this is actually long story long, Amanda. It's almost like I wrote this thing. Long story short, I'm really loving your show, and I really hope we don't lose Brian. Well, there's no Brian with an I on our show, so whoever that is doesn't matter. When Matthew comes back, and yes, we are. It's been said time and time again, he's only a temp. And I love to point that out because it irks him. I'm only just getting to the Matthew episodes, and he is great, but Brian, so are you. Again, Brian with an I. Don't know who she's talking to. Must be Brian Sheets. Also, so in case you hadn't noticed, Amanda, he spells his name with a Y, and he's quite particular about it. Also, I just listened to your episode with Dustin, the movie guy, who was gay bashed, and it was really moving listening to his story, and I'm really thankful you guys had him on to think on. I think it speaks to how open-minded and supportive this community can really be, and that's exciting. And as a woman who is a bit smaller, I really appreciated his stance on self-defense. I don't know if you guys have any plans to have him on again, but I hope you do. It was also really nice to listen to someone a little younger who lives in a more urban area, but is still really into firearms. I'm sure there are more than a few of us listeners out there who would agree. Another backup host, perhaps. Anyway, so she's saying that we're all rednecks and old, and we need some young millennials from the city. That's what I'm maybe taking some liberties, or are you guys getting that too?
She's saying
I'll take
that
the
about
redneck.
you.
Yeah.
She's saying that about you, but okay.
I was agreeing.
Kelly,
with
you're
her
older
until
than I
she
am.
said-
Yeah,
but she
won't
looks
say-
she looks marvelous. And then
Thank
there's
you.
you.
Brian.
She does look marvelous. I've not aged well. This is all true.
No.
Anyway, I'm excited.
And I suppose city people are people too.
They are. Yes, yes, they are.
The ones that lived in the country and moved there are the ones that were born there. I don't know.
No. We have to be inclusive.
We are terribly inclusive. Anyway, I mean, we let you on. Anyway, I'm excited to have lots of episodes to look. Don't let the door hit you on the way out when Matthew comes back, pal.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited to have lots of episodes to look forward to. Please keep making amazing content and being pillars to this amazing community I'm just starting to break into. Awesome. That's cool, Amanda. Thank you so much for writing. It's really cool to hear about your adventure and enjoying the community. And you're absolutely right. The community is filled with women, but events dedicated to them are still few and far between.
Yep.
And we need more of that so they can discover each other, so they can figure out just exactly how many women are recreational shooters, hunters, competitive shooters. In Vancouver, there's quite a few female IPSC shooters out there.
There are a bunch and some really great ladies. So,
Yep.
Amanda, if you want their contact information, I know they'll be happy to take you out shooting. I know of 2 ladies in particular that have been on the show. They'd like to take you out. So,
Could they take me out shooting?
yes,
I'm not a female, but
Could they just take me out?
yes.
I
You've
mean,
met them before.
Oh, have I?
No, Trevor has.
I'm
Anyways.
sure. Okay, cool.
And Brian's back on the good boy list now because he said I look young compared to you.
There's some good boy
Pretty
points.
much anybody does, but yeah, okay.
Okay, you're back off the list.
I wasn't comfortable being on the list. I gotta tell you, I like my
Home
spot.
sweet home.
I just want to stay in my little hole.
Yep.
That's where I'm comfortable.
Stay in your lane, and your lane is not the nice guy.
No. Get off my lawn. Even if my lawn's not here, just get off.
And yes, you are supposed to back into the parking space.
Yeah. No, a drive-through is okay too. As
Yeah,
long as you don't have to back out. Whatever it takes to not have to back out is the correct way to park.
correct. Now get off my lawn.
Yes. All right. If you'd like to send an email to the show, you can email us at slamfireradio@gmail.com. We have no iTunes tonight, so send us iTunes. We'd love to hear from you. It also gets us noticed a little bit more as well. What do we have for shout outs, Trevor? We haven't heard from you in like forever.
To everyone I met at the CCFR AGM who I had never met before, it was a pleasure speaking to you and getting to know you, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you at the next CCFR AGM or shooting event. To everyone who took pity on me and let me shoot their gun at the shooting day, thanks, because I was pretty sad there for a while.
Didn't anyone know who you were?
I guess not. I mean, I don't know.
I guess you didn't get a sandwich either.
I didn't know. Yes, we had a whole tray of sandwiches.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did anyone specifically buy you a sandwich?
Yes. The
I think
CCFR.
you're lying. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Did anyone at least go over to the sandwich tray and grab one for you and bring it to you?
No.
I tried to kill him at the CCFR AGM. I just thought I should let you know.
You're not supposed to admit that on air.
Yeah, she
Oh,
did
yeah.
though.
That's
It's a
true
faux
story.
pas.
Yeah.
I offered him a brownie. It had nuts in it. He's,
Yeah.
Oh, nuts.
It's like, here, put this in your mouth. It'll be fun.
You'll love my nuts.
Yeah. I did not.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
my.
didn't touch it.
Nope, I did not touch Kelly's nuts.
What's I don't know what's worse, the fact that we're saying these things or the fact that we're sober. Like, there's just not an excuse.
And also to the crew who organized the CCFR AGM, job well done. We had Michelle Rompel as a speaker. We had Dave, Uncle Dave, man, from
awesome.
CAPS Training. He gave a presentation.
Yeah.
Guys, listeners,
Yeah.
if you see one of his classes advertised, you need to go. It will change your outlook on so many things.
Yep.
You really need to make this part of your plan, especially if you are ever considering defending yourself in this country. You need to go take his class. And to Trevor Grenier. So Trevor Grenier is someone I've actually known for many
Came
years,
in seventh.
all the way. Yeah, exactly. Came in 7th. Mark Price. That wasn't me. And he did really well. 7th for his first steel challenge is awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so he's a hell of a pistol shot. Just took his black badge this year. I've known him since high school, and He's recently become pretty active in the Rescuers Gun Club. And every time I go to the range to work, God love him, this guy is right there with me, and he's doing all the dirty jobs that I hate doing. He must have pounded spikes. I don't know how many spikes he's pounded so far, but he's a hell of a worker. He's been breaking his back to help make SummerSlam a success. And thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. And on top of that, he PM'd me in the middle of the show to show me pictures of the bear he just shot. He just bagged his New Brunswick spring bear. I think it was about 100-yard shot with his 30-06, and he's got himself a nice spring black bear. So congratulations, Trevor. Good job, man. I want a package of hamburger.
All right. Yes. Hamburgers on the way. Adriel, what about you?
Just to all the ROs and volunteers of the Chaz 3-gun match. We this is our biggest match that we've ever put on, and the first time we've done a 2-day, both combined. So we kind of did it all, and the volunteers and the ROs and the just kind of everyone pitched in really well and made it a success. And I don't think we couldn't have done it without the volunteers. We couldn't have done it without them really being innovative in how they're setting up and how they're ROing those stages. So it was all really good, really safe, and a fantastic shoot because of them.
Awesome. I'm going to give a shout out to Aaron S. and his friend Kevin. They were the shooters that were at the Woodview match or Maple Seed, and they're listeners. So I just want to say hello to them. Also to Corey Johnson, his dad, Jim. Thank you for putting us up again for another shoot. It was amazing. And finally to Mike Hessen. I got to see Mike and Sarah Hessen as well as Layla at the shoot at Smith Falls. So it was nice to see them. Mike was ROing the IDPA stage. So it was awesome. Yeah. Brian, looks like you got some shout outs too.
I do. To the warning shot. Come back, please. Please let me out of this contract that I'm in. And to Fred, congrats for making the competitive team for going to CAFSAC, and I'm hoping your team also will be going to nationals and we get shit together. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right. Patreon. No new supporters this week, but for those who have been supporters, thank you very much. And also make sure that you send in an email with all your information so that we can send out patches. If you've recently, Adriel, you sent something out that recently, haven't you?
About once a month.
Yeah. Okay. So when was the last time you sent one out?
Month ago.
Okay. So within the next month, if you haven't received anything, send us an email and let us know.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Have we decided what we're going to do with the shirts? How we're going to do that, or just we're still figuring that out?
Well, I'm going to bring a bunch out to the charity shoot, and hopefully we meet some people out there. And I don't have to mail them.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm going to go to the post office today and mail some stuff. Yep.
Awesome. So if you haven't received it in a month, send us an email. And so thank you everyone who has been supportive of ours. It means that we can do some extra things for you, like those extra Patreon shows. But not only that, it allows us to put out content every week as well with our regular show. So, and that's about it. Why don't you we'll sign off. So please join one of our national firearms associations, such as the CCFR or the CSSA. Go out and support one of the advocacy groups, especially now with the 71 that's going on. And check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. We have a thread there. We post the show, but we also like to talk to you as well. So give us a shout out there. And lastly, like us on Facebook. We're at 1,910 likes. So that's pretty good. And other than that, Trevor, welcome back.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You gonna leave us with some words of wisdom?
Yeah. Join the CCFR.
All right. Ryan, you got anything?
I didn't realize how much I did miss Trevor until he came back. It was good.
Awesome.
Yeah. I learned something today.
Adriel, what about you?
Drink enough water when it's like 28 outside and you're at a match all day.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And for me, I'm just going to say good night, everybody. Welcome back, Trevor.
Thanks.